Midnight music. Midnight music.
Yesterday?
Second one comes out tonight, actually.
Tonight? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't watch that one yet. Obviously, because it hasn't probably come out yet.
Yeah, I want to talk
But,
to you about something else I found too from IGN.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I saw so I didn't see No Way Home yet. Me and Jazz are gonna go see it this weekend.
Yeah, it's all right. Perfect.
But I did rewatch the first two.
Which ones?
And Homecoming
And
then
Far
the one
From
with
Home?
Jake Gyllenhaal and Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked Homecoming. Homecoming's an excellent movie.
Yes, it is.
It's beyond excellent. It's like one of the best Marvel movies ever. Michael Keaton is just so believable.
Far From Home, Jake Gyllenhaal, fantastic villain.
Well, okay, the first act I was just so like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as Jake Gyllenhaal goes, all right, folks, wrap it up. That's like finally. Once Jake Gyllenhaal does his heel turn, I was like, all right, this movie's fucking amazing too. It just took a while for me to get into it, but no, the second one was also, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was also a really, really good movie.
Yeah, MJ I think does a much better job in the second one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was like, okay, your love story's gonna make sense, but you know, she's MJ, so it has to.
It'll get there. It'll get there. Where is Cameron? But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our brand new setup right now. Call it KOTR 2.0. I know 2.0 is like a faux pas thing to say in wrestling these days, but fuck you guys. So yeah, this is our brand new setup. We're beginning of it. Our meat slapping pre-show. We don't know where K Murphy is. Hopefully they will be here soon, but we'll figure it out.
If they're not, they're fired.
Yeah, pretty much. You know. You're not dead.
Oh, so what did you find? What did you find on IGN?
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm going to pull it up right now because I was reading this last night. I was like, oh, this is interesting, and I didn't know this. So IGN every year does their top 100 video games of all time, and so they change the list every year.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Should,
Is number one, the number one's probably the same.
what's number one?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Number one's probably the same for like at least a few years.
We'll see. You want me to go through them?
Yeah.
well-
Give me top 20.
You want the top 20? Because, I mean, the top 100 is some pretty insane stuff that doesn't even make the top 20.
All right, actually, let me pull it up. IGN top 100 games, 2022 or 2021.
This is 2022. This is the one for this year.
Top 100 games of all time. Yep, 5 days ago. Classic.
Yeah.
I probably, honestly, I might have looked at this last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might have done like IGN's like top PS2 games because looking for things to I was looking for things to
To buy.
to emulate
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Kicking up Borderlands 2.
Oh, they go from 100. Borderlands 2?
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of Borderlands, to be honest.
So
The first one, I only played the first one. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, this game's eh.
at number 97, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the only Assassin's Creed game to make the list.
All right, hold up. Pause. We'll get there. Final Fantasy VII is number 98.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the original or the new one?
It looks like it's probably the original JRPG.
The original is a fucking classic. This is a travesty. I haven't played it, but I'm replaying the remake.
Yeah.
I got that. My brother got me that for Christmas. And I know it's only like half the game, but it's incredible. I'm having a great... People hate it. I'm having a great time. I think it's amazing.
Well, keep going down this
Black
list.
Black Flag's also a travesty.
At 97, I was like, oh, it could have been higher.
Yeah, way too low. Every game's fucking amazing.
Keep going down the list.
Burnout 3, excellent game. I'm glad it's in the top 100. League of Legends, fine. Animal Crossing New Horizons, I think that's the DS one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine.
89, SimCity 2000. What a game that was.
That's fair. What a throwback. You know what? That's fair. 89. It's a fair number for SimCity 2000. Shout out to all the earthquakes and volcanoes.
Titanfall 2 is an amazing game. It was an Xbox exclusive for Xbox One.
I think. No, I don't know if Titanfall is available on PC. I don't think so.
No, I think it was just Xbox. It was the one that they said it was on like the Xbox like video game server or the Microsoft server, and it never crashed.
Classic.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 86, a little low, but that's because 3's not on here, so it's definitely low.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2, the remake. Okay.
Mortal Kombat 11 at 82, the only Mortal Kombat to make it. Oh, well, 11 is a great game.
I never played Mortal Kombat. Never played them. I'm like, I would say I'm not big into fighting games. I'd be a liar. I just beat a Naruto fighting game before I got there. I was watching the final cutscene. That's why I was late. It's Dark Souls, Fortnite, and Fable 2, 80 to 78. Though all 3 of those games are low. Yeah. Fortnite isn't in the top 20. That's crazy to me.
GoldenEye's not even top 20. GoldenEye's number 77.
That's also Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, IGN has some shit going wrong here. I need to speak to the manager. I'm totally Karen right now.
All right, what do we got? Mario Kart 8. That's just whatever. Donkey Kong at 71 is still mind blowing to me.
Yeah, which Donkey Kong? The Sims 3. Yeah, Sims 3 is when they started selling out. So I agree with this. Number 70.
Splinter Cell. I'll accept. Splinter Cell's like
I got
hard.
I got it for free 2 weeks ago. I haven't played it
yet.
What,
Chaos Theory?
Yeah, it was for Ubisoft was giving away for free.
Nice.
On the PC, so I got it.
San Andreas at number 66.
You know what? I'll take it.
Ah, okay.
I'll take it. That's fine. Control, got it for free off Epic Games. Haven't played it yet. Modern Warfare 4, 63.
I believe that's the only Call of Duty to make the list.
If it's the only code, yeah. Well, this would have to be it because it really changed the game. Also low. I'm gonna say it should be in top.
Modern
25.
Warfare 2, I think, is the better game, but that's just me.
Yeah, they did just make it better.
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, haven't played it yet. Arkham City is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number was it 61?
Yeah, Dishonored 2 at 60.
I played Arkham. Which one did I play? Batman. I played Arkham Asylum. I've not played Arkham City.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum's crazy game.
Dishonored 2. I didn't really like the first Dishonored, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Uncharted 2, outstanding. 57. That's fair.
Are you gonna see the movie?
Sure. Why not?
That's Tom Holland and
Who's
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg is like the
Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas.
Who's the chick? Who plays the chick?
I don't know she's hot. I don't know what her name is though.
Fair enough. That's all that matters. Overwatch 56. Okay, I'll take that.
Apex Legends.
Mrs. Pac-Man.
53.
You know what? Left 4 Dead 2. 51. Perfect.
Very specific with the Counter-Strike at 1.6.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Counter-Strike is like one of the biggest franchises ever.
Yeah, Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft. Wow, got number 47. At least it broke the top 50.
That's fine. Knights of the Republic.
Amazing game. Not the best Star Wars game, but it is a classic.
I think that's a little low too. I'd probably put that top 25 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout New Vegas is 1,000% low. Final Fantasy 6 is above 7. Final Fantasy 6 can go fuck itself. They put it for the soundtrack? Really? I do that for movies, not for video games. Although Kingdom Hearts is definitely up there for video games. Fallout New Vegas is dangerously low. Fallout New Vegas should be in the top 20.
Pokemon Yellow is at 43.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
We think of Skyrim at 41.
Skyrim should which version of Skyrim? They've released it 10 times. Skyrim should probably be in the top 10.
Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim is all they put.
I know. But they've re-released this game 10 times over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So I put in the top 10.
Shadow of
Colossus, something I've heard was incredible, never played.
Last of Us 2 at 38.
I didn't play Last of Us 2, but the first one is one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Red Dead at 37. How do you feel about that?
That's fair. Red Dead 1 was excellent. Red Dead 2 was just crazy.
Metal Gear Solid at 36. Metal Gear Solid was just a classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Civ 4 over Civ 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Civilization games are hard. I played Civilization Revolution.
They're long, dude.
They're
so
really long. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's an afternoon.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda, Ocarina. I haven't played it, but I've heard only good things.
Yeah. 33, Minecraft.
That's fair. I think it's a good spot for it.
The original Halo at 32.
I'd probably put Halo 3 in the top 10, but Halo, I think that's where Halo needs to be.
Half-Life. So,
that's Half-Life.
Final
That's
Fantasy
good.
14 at 30.
Okay. That's like that. The MMORPG. No, fuck that game too. Final Fantasy 7's way better. But Doom at 29.
Tetris at 28. I think should still be higher.
Yeah, probably top 15.
Third Metal
Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
3. Okay.
more Half-Life. God of War at 25.
Hold on, no. This is the VR version of Half-Life, which okay, high, but okay. God of War 25, perfect.
I actually
Perfect.
downloaded God of War for PS5. I just haven't played it yet. It's on my list of things to actually like work through before Ragnarok comes out.
It's the I think it's the original though, God of War.
It's the PS4 version.
This number 25
I
is?
think. I don't know.
Right here. God of War didn't just pull off the impressive feat of reinventing a
It's the newer
franchise.
one then.
On cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leviathan Axe, God's War. It is. Okay, that's very surprising.
Yeah. Portal is
Portal number
Portal's
23.
People
Okay.
love Portal.
People do
Yeah.
love Portal. They got their cake.
Street Fighter 2.
Okay, Ryu.
How
Yeah,
do you feel
fine.
about 21?
Super Mario Bros?
Super Mario Brothers at 21.
That's fair.
Really?
Drinking age, perfect. Love it.
I mean, they're the top 20. Bloodborne.
Fuck Bloodborne. That game's hard as hell. This game is so hard. I played it like for 3 hours and I couldn't get past the first level because I kept dying and
That's
losing
like
all my
me in
shit.
that's like
Fuck
me in Dark Souls.
Bloodborne. That's why I hate it. Okay, BioShock 18.
Wild
but
game,
okay.
BioShock. I mean, I remember my BioShock came out when I was in college. One of my boys was addicted to BioShock. Anytime he had downtime, he was playing BioShock on PC.
You know what it is? Because it's a twist at the end. So yeah, BioShock should be
Yeah.
number 18. That's fine. Legally.
Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yup.
Witcher 3 Wild
Witcher.
Hunt.
Yup. Halo 3, Halo 2. I said, okay, Halo 2. People like Halo 2 better than Halo 3. That's fine. Halo 2 is part of the better game. Number 15. I should be top 15. So there it is.
Castlevania.
Okay,
Hades.
Castlevania. Hades. My brother loves this game. He brother fucking loves Hades. Never played it though.
GTA 5 at number 12.
Yeah, that's fair. Super Mario Bros. 3. That's fine.
Disco Elysium, which I don't think I've ever heard of.
Never heard of. Simon Cardy, you fucking moron. Number 10. Number 9. Half-Life 2. Okay, definitely. Red Dead Redemption
Bold,
2.
but yes.
Definitely. Number 7.
Four.
Super Mario Bros. 64. Most definitely.
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2. Ooh, no. Actually, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Mass Effect 3 was so bad, it kind of made Mass Effect 2 worse, but Mass Effect 2 was really, really good. Number 6, though? No, I gave it top 25, but not top 10.
Number 5, Super Metroid.
Okay.
Number
fine.
4, Legend of
Metroid.
Zelda, A Link to the Past.
Okay, fine. People
3,
love Zelda.
Portal 2,
Portal
yeah.
2? Okay, I guess people
Yeah.
really do love Portal.
Number 2, Super Mario World.
And Breath
Wild at
of
number
the
1.
Wild. You know what? People cream over Nintendo, and Nintendo really is kind of the king of
Yeah.
gaming, dude. I'm not gonna lie. They have a foothold so strong.
Did you know what it is? They're just like, we're just not going to make a system because that's done. We're just going to keep on putting out bangers. Video games.
Dude, they just broke the code. It's like, what's gonna release the
Over
same
and over
thing?
again.
And you know what? You're gonna love it. And you know what? We love it. It's good every single time.
So apparently they review this every year and come out with a new list. They've been doing it since 2019. So I want to see what the upper lists were. Like, what didn't make the cut? Or what got booted?
Dude, no Madden.
I'm not surprised by that.
No sports. No
Not even
sports
No
games.
Mercy.
0 sports games.
No Mercy.
Yeah, that-
NHL had some amazing sports games. The 2K series in the 2010s was the best sports franchise ever.
I would put 2K8
Was
with
that 2K or
Jordan.
was it 2K11?
Might have been 2K11.
Yeah.
It was 2K11. You're right. I would do 2K11 with Jordan is definitely on the list. I would do MVP Baseball 05 is on the
MVP Baseball
list.
05 was so good.
I would do Pro Skater 3 instead of Pro Skater 2. I would do SmackDown versus Raw. No, I would probably do No Mercy.
No Mercy is almost the perfect
I would
wrestling
do-
game.
I would do a SmackDown
Besides not
versus
having
Raw.
a GM mode, No Mercy is fucking amazing.
You need a wrestling
Yeah.
game on there. You do.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when Jordan was the cover of NBA, and that was a huge deal because like Jordan had never licensed his likeness to anybody.
Yeah, that's the first NBA 2K game I bought, and I played it the
Oh yeah.
most.
And I think the next year
So
they
it
came out
was
with the
so
Dream
much fun.
Team was like an exclusive.
They might have. That's when they started putting all of old timers
Yeah,
back in the
because
games.
that's great. I don't want to play with the main roster.
Because duh. Yeah, I only get the main roster. It's like,
Give me
no, dude, let me put in a cheat
give
code
me
and just
the
unlock this
98
shit.
Bulls versus like the 76 Celtics or some bullshit like that.
Because MVP Baseball '05 did that, but you had to use like the skill points you get in games
Well,
to
that
buy
makes
them.
sense to me.
Yeah, it was great because you had to actually play the games and like unlock Babe Ruth. They gave you like a list of certain like let's call
Yeah.
it tier B of like players with names so you can know who they are. And there's some tier A players in there, but then they give you hints and question marks. You have to fucking guess who it is. So you're like Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Johnny Bench. Oh fuck. Like they give you like the team, the years they played, and like a fun fact. And you
Gotcha.
kind
I
of
totally
guess who
forgot I
it
had to
is.
share my screen, so I just shared it with you right now. Let's get some of these people on Twitter right now.
Like you had to buy the stadiums, you had to buy different uniforms, or you could put in like Katie Roy and create a player, and you'll unlock
Really?
all of them. Cheat code, baby. Yeah, it's a cheat code. So you unlock the like the legends and the Hall of Famers. Is it what the two teams were? They did a full roster
Nice.
of 50 different players. You had to buy them with in-game currency. Like, you didn't have to buy with real money. Because 2005 and PS2 was amazing.
All right, we're gonna gotta figure out is Kay actually joining us on this chat? Because I'm concerned. Let's see. Let's message Kay, folks. Anybody knows where BK Murphy is? Let us know so we can have him on the show.
Bella!
We're not gonna talk about it on the show, but poor Ridge Holland.
Dude, someone literally had it in their like 2022 prediction that Holland's gonna get
It
injured,
happened on day one.
and then released. Dude, someone predicted
He's not
it.
released yet.
I forget who it was, but they predicted he's gonna get injured and then released.
Phase one complete. La, la.
Oh, I should check movie times
You
this
should be
weekend
straight,
because
dude.
I want it.
I went to my first ever dining movie. I think we talked about this last week. Went to my first, or not last week because we weren't on last week. But I went to a dine-in movie theater. Amazing. Yeah.
Yes, you did. You did tell me.
So good. And also, it was like an AMC. So AMC now has like, they really like wise up, especially some of their premiere like movie theaters. So what they have right now, you know how they have the freestyle machines? You can actually hook it up to your cell phone. So you can scan a QR code and then make your selection, and make the selection on your phone, and then activates the machine.
Oh, that's that's so cool.
It's like, oh, it's freaking brilliant.
All right, Newport Center. Let's go to Saturday.
What do you do, AMC or Regal?
It's AMC
Oh, okay.
Newport.
What type of AMC is it?
It's like it's an AMC in the mall. It has the reserve. Obviously, it's reserved seating, recliner seats.
Anything special?
I think it's a standard, just standard,
Gotcha.
standard ass movie theater, which is fine with me.
Yeah, no, you'll enjoy every fucking moment of it.
$12.50 for a matinee ticket now
You probably
on
also
weekends.
Could,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let me buy these two tickets. Oh, screen. Yeah, let me. I don't want to be back row, but like I want to be in the middle, but like not next to people.
That's the worst part about trying to figure out like where to sit. You're like, I want good seats, but I want to be spacious. And like, it's always a gamble if you do it early, because then like everybody just like picks around you.
Yeah. All right, let me go. I'm gonna go middle,
Middle
left.
left
That's fine.
is a good choice.
That's fine. I'll do middle. D
There
13
you
and
go.
14. That's fine with me. What app am I using? Flickster. What app do you use for your movie
If
tickets?
it depends, because I use AMC or use Regal. I use their own one.
Do I hate they charge me a fucking convenience fee?
Well, just do like AMC and be like a Stubbs member until you get the convenience fee waived.
I don't see that. I don't
What's
see enough
up?
movies, though.
Touche.
I don't see enough movies.
And shit, it's the best way to get out of the house these days, to be honest with you.
I should probably check it. That would be a good idea. Let me not buy this right now.
Any word from Kay? Oh, goodness. Nope. Come on, Kay. Anywho, you guys in the chat. Oh, well, we do have a Borderlands fan over here. What are some of your guys' favorite video games? For me right now, I have 2 months to get through. It probably would have been Cyberpunk if Cyberpunk didn't shit the brick. Even though Cyberpunk was fine on next gen.
I'm waiting to upgrade my PC before I buy Cyberpunk, which graphics cards aren't available.
Yeah, supply chain bullshit.
But I'm gonna upgrade. I'm gonna upgrade my my CPU and more storage.
Gotcha.
Like soon, very soon.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it's my first time ever playing it, but MLB 2K21 this year, oh fucking amazing.
Wait, NBA or MLB? They made an MLB.
I mean, MLB
2K
2K20,
game?
sorry.
Or is it the show?
Yeah, you know what I mean, the show, sorry.
The show is okay.
I love it.
I liked MVP better.
You know what was hard? Like, I tried to do my own stadium, and like that's actually really difficult.
MVP 05 had the GM mode. We had to build our own stadium and all that shit.
I wish Madden had that.
You like build a team from scratch. You have budgets. Like you have.
Well,
to have
not even.
budgets.
I mean, you do have the budget and stuff in franchise mode and in franchise mode in Madden, but like you don't have the option to build your own stadium. Like if you relocate, they already have pre-built designs of stadiums that you can choose from, but like nothing really affects you if you're really that good. They finally rehauled like the draft system, the recruiting system, where now I have NFL scouts from in different regions of the country to scout specific players, which is kind of cool. But I'm waiting in like a year or so from now when NCAA football comes back, and there'll never be a better football game ever.
Oh, apparently Kay's not coming. They're at their parents.
Oh, was it their Christmas?
I totally
forgot
you. Know. Classic us. Forget.
Classic
us.
rando. Do I even have anything to like?
Let me give it a monkey.
All right, Kay's just the black box. We'll figure this out. Whatever. Yeah, we'll figure this out. All right, so give us a couple of moments. We will be right back, and when we come back, we are going to start our lovely first show of 2022. Just me and Will, day 5-ish. See you in a bit, folks.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, it's a new year, which means there's a new Brock. We recap day one and Brock's shocking championship win to kick off the Royal Rumble season. Plus, NXT is going all in on the 2.0 rebrand after New Year's Evil. AEW debuts on TBS. New Japan puts on their two-night Wrestle Kingdom Super show and prepare impactful return to TV over here in the U.S., breaking open the forbidden door yet again. So please, folks, bring your angst and all your hate to us via your BlackBerry Messenger, because it is the debut episode of Kings of the Rings podcast for the year of 2022, day 5-ish, episode 277, and it begins right now. Yes, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year to all you guys. This is Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 277, KOTR, in our 2.0 live setup, live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us. It is me, your host, King Ricky Rose, alongside Willie T, the founder and proprietor, the Mac Militant. Unfortunately, DK Murphy broke free of their COVID protocols and is actually celebrating Christmas with their family. So happy COVID Christmas to DK Murphy. So it's just me and Willie T tonight talking about a whole bunch of stuff happening around the entire world of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. But first off, Willie T, how was your New Year's?
It was good, man. We spent a lot of money, but hey, new year, new me, baby. So when we do this, am I the dingo or are you the baby?
I don't know, actually. I don't think we've ever defined our dingo and the baby roles.
No, am I dingo or are you the baby? So it don't matter. It means I'm dingo and you're the baby.
Whatever.
So my name is Dingo Tarashuk. It's Season Thomas, ARASHUK. I've been doing a lot of crazy stuff this week. I released 2 new podcasts this week and scheduling like 60 social posts. So yeah,
that sucks.
Go find them and go like them and go listen to my shit. It takes me hours. Too many hours.
Yeah, it does.
Like watching day one, it took me so many
hours.
Did it really? 3 hours, in fact. That's how long the show was.
Was it 3 hours? It felt like it was quicker.
3 hour show. I actually watched it on day 2.
As long as you got it done.
Yeah, New Year's Day. I told you I got the new 4K player.
Yeah.
For Christmas. So I did the Lord of the Rings marathon in 4K
on Christmas Day.
And let me on New Year's Day. Year's Day. So let me tell you. The Battle of Helm's Deep never looked better.
Really?
And then it did in 4K. Out fucking standing. I just need to like get surround sound in my living room, and it's game over. It's game over.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, but I'm gonna move it. I'm not getting surround sound in an apartment. Wait until I get a house. So I have a real man.
Yeah.
Like
don't waste your money on it. But I mean, like, it would be good to try. It would be good to try. So yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. This is our brand new setup. Same-ish, even though it's our day 5-ish. Same show, as always. We just wanted to clean things up a little bit, give us a little bit of excitement, because sometimes change is a good thing, unlike some of the people in the IWC who would want to think otherwise. And speaking of change, breaking news as of earlier today, before we recorded, you see this black and gold NXT logo. Well, that's officially no more, as Sean Rossap of Fightful.com tweeted that WWE issued Fightful a statement saying, with the continued evolution of NXT 2.0, we've decided to part ways with some of the staff based in our performance center. We thank them for their many contributions throughout the years and wish them the best. Some of those people were personnel, some writers, some staff, and oh, you didn't know? It's the Road Dogg finally getting the boot in his role as was he like an agent or a producer backstage?
I think he might have. Yeah, I think he might have been part of the creative team. Honestly, I have no idea. Yeah. My guess is he was creative team and agent.
Yeah, so you won't get any more hateful tweets from Road Dogg then. Will be happy.
I forgot Road Dogg like chewed me out for something. I totally forgot about that. That was pretty funny.
It was like because that's when you had Twitter.
That's like probably the last time I tweeted. I deleted my Twitter.
Yeah, that's what happened. Road Dogg got over on you one last time.
Yeah, I just like this is that's not why I deleted. It's probably the last time I actually tweeted.
Yeah. Yeah, so Road Dogg is no more. Road Dogg, from what I gathered from Road Dogg's time in NXT, depending on who you talk to, nice guy for the most part, but it's just some divisive things that kind of got in the way. Like Road Dogg is a little bit too old school.
Yeah, difference in creative. That happens. I mean, they're going a different direction. Not getting anything wrong. Yeah. I'm assuming they're going in a different direction.
Yeah, and so no more Road Dogg.
It's the wrong direction, but who's counting?
I don't know. I don't think Road Dogg was that big of an influence, to be honest with you, compared to other names. And speaking of other names, the big bombshell that happened right before we decided to record was Sir William Regal, the best GM probably in the history of wrestling.
Honestly, probably one of the longest tenured GMs
the longest
tenured
GM in the history of wrestling, will no longer be renewing his on-screen talent as GM, will no longer be backstage, will no longer be traveling the world representing WWE NXT, looking for the hottest unsigned talent, because he is no longer a part of WWE, as he was also released from the company earlier today as we are recording this show. Surprising? Somewhat. No. Not really.
It's a shame because, Regal, Ricky, you've followed this on the show for years. Regal is guy goes around the world and scouts these foreign talents. Yeah. So it's like, you let that go? I thought that's why he had a job. And the TV appearance was a plus. Like he was like their head scout.
Yeah.
He found everybody.
Literally everybody around the world. And
if you get the rub from Regal, you're made until Vince sees you, and you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on Twitter these next several days, there's gonna be a lot of wrestlers, past and present, from the NXT brand, from the Black and Yellow brand, who will be praising William Regal, for what he did for the company and Regal's time in NXT. And Regal was the perfect GM. When you think of on-air talents that are GMs, a lot of them overstay their welcome on TV. Where Regal, in the way that he played the GM role, if Regal showed up, yes, it was important, but Regal never took away too much time from the actual talent and storylines that are going on in the ring. He was just there to enhance what was going on. And he did that probably better than any GM I've ever seen in pro wrestling.
Not only that, dude, he felt like a real GM.
That too.
Like, he just felt like he was actually in control. And, all the superstars respected him to the point where, even, heels would get in his face, but it wasn't, over the top other than Karrion Kross. Yeah. He was never involved in storylines. He was just an authority figure. He was just a GM.
Yeah, and I love how you said that the heels never, never crossed a certain line, because I don't think anybody actually called him William Regal.
Hey, Mr.
It was
Regal.
always whether you were heel or face or something in between. Whenever he was on screen, or when you stepped into his office on screen, it was always Mr. Regal, even if you were pissed at him.
It was very subtle too. The announcer would go, "Oh, what a great main event booked by Mr. Regal."
Yeah.
Right? Mr. Regal, it's telling us that Mr. Regal booked this match for next week. Little things like that. It's he was treated like a legitimate GM.
Yeah.
And it's because are Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce GMs? No, they're just characters on they're not bad. They're fun. They're good at what they do. They're characters.
Yeah.
They're just whatever. They're there. They're there every week too.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And sometimes they're there when they shouldn't be there. Like I said, Regal had that perfect balance of, I'm here, I'm not here, but I'm still in charge.
He had a presence without being seen.
Exactly. So that is going to hurt. But I mean, if you think about it, before even Samoa Joe came out that one time, it looked like Regal was going to call it quits anyways. I wouldn't be surprised if Regal was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
I mean, he is 63 years old. Ish.
Yes.
So,
and he's dedicated his life. He's been in wrestling for years, man.
I mean, I'm sad to see him go, but I think this is the same thing where it's not not financial reasons. It could. I mean, who knows what the reason is? I mean, I'm sure it's an amicable split. Yeah. But this, you could be right. This could be something he asked for. You never know. I mean,
we don't know. I mean, if it's his way, it's this way he wants to go, and he wants to retire and stay away from wrestling for the rest of his life. Bless him.
Wait! Breaking news, Ricky. What's this? He is gonna fight Christian on Rampage next week. William Regal is all elite.
Not even William Regal. Remember when he was like the all-American working man?
He's a man.
Yeah, the man's man. The man's man.
He's a man. And they made him change his name because they had Steve Austin. They don't want
Regal.
Steve Regal and Steve
Yeah.
Austin. Too many
He's
Steves.
the man's man. The man's man is all elite. I wouldn't be surprised. But
Yeah, to kiss Vince's ass, literally.
he did. He was one of the members of the Kiss My Ass Club.
King of the Ring.
Yeah, and what is he like? He was King Regal, or was he Lord Regal at that time?
King was King Regal.
King Regal.
And then he wore drag.
Regal's done everything in.
He's a trooper.
Yeah, man. I mean, bless him. I mean, I feel happy that we got to see Regal that one time in person when we went to the NXT live event, and he showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it was cool.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. He is one of the. He never won a world championship. But he's one of the best mid card to upper mid card figures in the history of wrestling.
And he's known for his work.
Yeah.
As a wrestler, he's known as like, oh, I want to wrestle Regal. He's gonna make a great match. Workhorse.
Yeah, very very big workhorse. Very good. So congrats to Regal. We're gonna miss you in NXT. But you know the show must go on, and boy, did it ever! Look at Braun. I'm picturing Braun Breaker in the scene, screaming like Jericho's "Break the walls down" as he like kicks the X as his entrance.
I didn't watch, but I did hear he won
New
the belt.
Year's Evil happened,
And then Rick Steiner came out, so he acknowledged he's a Steiner finally.
well, his father, but yes,
yeah, Rick Steiner, not Scott.
No,
Rick.
Scott. Yeah, no, that's why he's the big bad booty nephew, because Scott Steiner is the uncle. So yeah, they had a match. New Year's Evil. This match fucking fantastic. Ciampa and Braun Breaker put on a fantastic takeover style main event where they showcase his athleticism, still showcase Ciampa's just brutal style of wrestling, but in the end, a Steiner recliner, and get this, Will, Ciampa tapped.
I saw the clip. I did see he
did.
tapped.
They didn't do the pass out. He actually tapped.
Good. We need bring tapping, make tapping real in wrestling again, motherfuckers. Tap. Like if you all do the Austin spot, it doesn't. You ruin the Austin spot.
Which I thought was shot. I was like, wow, he actually tapped for Braun Breaker, which is pretty crazy. And yes, Braun Breaker is your champion of this, which is crazy to think about. His father came into the ring, and it got very emotional after that. What they didn't show as well was that once obviously TV was off, Ciampa came back out and actually shook Rick Steiner's hand. Yeah, which is class act by Ciampa.
Is Ciampa? Where's Ciampa going? What's up with him? Is he going to stay in NXT? Go main roster? What's he doing?
I honestly don't know. There was a little backstage, passing between Ciampa and AJ Styles, which take all my money if that were to ever happen.
I know AJ's in NXT, but I think AJ's going on to bigger and better things. I think AJ's going to surprise the fuck out of everybody.
No, I think AJ's going on a phenomenal run leading into Mania. He had to get away from Omos. He gave the Omos rub, which is cool. But I think AJ's either going to be in a championship match, which I'm going to say no, or he's going to be in the holy shit, I need to watch WrestleMania match.
Dude, he's my dark horse to win the Rumble.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, he's my, and I think he challenges Roman.
Ooh. Oh man.
If you're gonna take Brock off of SmackDown, you gotta replace him with somebody.
Who knows?
Unless you just keep Brock on SmackDown. I mean, there's a lot of things like maybe it's gonna be a very interesting season.
Yeah, it is. Also, something to think about. I was reading some stats on Braun Breaker. Do you know when they signed Braun Breaker?
Year ago?
Less than a year ago, February of 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
About a year. Okay.
Yeah, he went from being signed. I mean, he clearly, when you watch this match, Will, he clearly has the talent to be a main event person. He looks the part of a heavyweight champion. He can do anything you want in the ring. He's actually kind of reminds me of like this is what they wanted Jason Jordan to be. So hopefully he stays healthy and all that. But proud of him. He paid his dues. He went up against Ciampa. Ciampa put him over. It's what you're supposed to do. So, speaking of putting things over and then putting things over and away and being buried, goodbye NXT Cruiserweight title. It has officially been unified with the North American Championship. And by the way, Carmella Hayes and Roddy Strong kicked off the show. And I didn't think there was going to be a better match on the card, because there barely was a better match on the card between Roddy and Carmelo Hayes. These guys put on a clinic, because that's what Roddy does. Roddy puts on clinics. And Carmelo Hayes, being probably the last indie superstar that WWE signed, and he showed why he was the last one to be signed, because he's that damn good. And I don't know which one I like more. Do I like Braun more? Or do I like Carmelo Hayes more? And at one point, we're going to have to clash with each other.
Mickey, not gonna lie, make me want to watch NXT again.
You're welcome.
Like, I have been very checked out of NXT for a while, but you know.
Well, because it was transitioning, and now they've completed the transition with New Year's Evil, I believe.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, now that it's new again, which kind of seems a little weird. The colors still irk me, but you know, these names are names I like, and their ratings are still up there. Like, you know, Matt Man's been reporting that their ratings are still around the 600,000s, which is what USA wants.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing must be working.
Yeah, no, and this New Year's Evil, this was a takeover in a sense, and these guys brought it. Roddy and Carmelo Hayes, they're just perfect for each other, and they're fighting. But in the end all be all, Carmelo Hayes unified the title. So goodbye NXT Cruiserweight Championship. We barely knew V, and it's now just the North American Championship.
Just as God intended.
Yeah, which is a shame, because the Cruiserweight title could have been something, but we can go on and on about how the Cruiserweight division in WWE for the umpteenth time failed yet again.
Yeah, what a joke.
It's a shame, because I mean, I still remember the Cruiserweight Classic. Like, I want to do a Patreon, like a rewatch of the Cruiserweight Classic.
TJ Perkins.
Listen. He at the time we were like, he's got it.
Yeah, and then he did it like this on TV, and it was over.
You know, oh man, but like, there are so many classics. The first ever Ciampa Gargano in WWE was in that match. You had Cedric and Kota Ibushi.
Dude, they had that preview show which told you who the fuck these people were.
Yeah.
Like the bracketology.
Oh, bracketology was so much fun.
Oh, it was amazing. I was like, it was honestly the best. It's one of the best things they've done in years.
It's probably the best tournament ever.
In wrestling, probably, yeah.
The most complete tournament ever in wrestling. Brian Kendrick making a return.
Tajiri?
Yeah. Tajiri fucking Lince Dorado debuted. Grand Metalik fucking going on a monster run. And it was so good, but no more cruiserweights. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do on 205 Live now, but we'll see what happens.
They shut it down. That shit. No one told them they're shutting it down.
Well, you know what I've been noticing, because they still do 205 Live after SmackDown. Of course, it's obviously just on Peacock, but that's where all of the new signees are wrestling.
It's their dark.
It's pretty much their dark, yeah. So moving on, speaking of dark, AJ Styles returned again to NXT 2.0 to face off against Grayson Waller in a verbal battle, which they didn't come to blows. Well, they did come to blows at some point. However, it's a setup for next week, because the next week's main event is AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller's the luckiest man in the world, because if anybody can get a good match out of a broomstick, it's AJ Styles.
Is AJ Styles. You are correct.
You know, so they must be really high on AJ Styles to have him work with Grayson Waller, which I'm very surprised at, because I don't like Grayson Waller is a great heel right now. He's he's got heel heat out the wazoo, but I just don't see him looking competitive against AJ Styles.
Do you like the main event guys, the main roster guys coming down to NXT? Like the Riddles there?
I think it's fine.
What's her face is the champion, Mandy Rose?
Well, Mandy's
solidified
in NXT now. Like, she's not going back.
Yeah. I found out the runs, that the one-offs is kind of like, okay. interesting.
It's one of those things that WWE has done it before when they had OVW. It's just that now it's
True. Now it's
televised. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, anything to get these kids, if they're high on a guy and they want to see what this kid's got, do you bring him to Raw or do you put him on NXT? You put him on NXT, you bring somebody from Raw or SmackDown down, you boost NXT's ratings for a couple of weeks, see what the kid's got. The kid becomes a little bit more of a household name. I think it benefits everybody. I'm just concerned. I mean, I know AJ Styles is going to do his damnedest to help this kid out, but I just don't see Grayson Waller as an effective ring worker. That's me. Well,
I don't even know who he is.
he's the guy that jumped off a cage in War Games.
Okay. Didn't watch War Games.
Should have. It's the men's match is really good. Moving along. Speaking of which, Riddle and the Shamans and MSK and Walter. I will tell you this right now. Walter lost some weight.
That's good.
He's in shape. This reminded me of like a trios match on the Indies. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely phenomenal. And here's what I found out. This came out, I think, after the show. Riddle wasn't supposed to be the original Shaman.
Who was it?
Jeff fucking Hardy.
That's pretty funny.
Jeff Hardy was going to be the Shaman, and that would have made so much sense.
It would have been Willow.
It would have been Willow.
The mask and everything. Incoherent dribble.
Yeah. So instead, they got Riddle. They put on a great match in the middle of the card. It was really funny. Riddle came in up against Walter. They tagged him in for Walter. And Riddle's just doing this hot tag. He's like kicking Walter. Walter chops him once. Riddle falls to the floor. Amazing.
Absurdities.
Amazing. It's just fun. I'm just happy to see Walter back in the States and doing something. Because they're not doing much with him on NXT UK from what I know. Moving along from this, obviously Riddle and MSK won. Riddle won with an RKO, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. I was actually hoping in like my Mark mind that Randy was going to come out of nowhere and RKO Walter for no reason.
That would have been cool. He'd do it. Randy would do it.
Randy's at the age where I just think he just wants to have fun.
Yeah.
Like he's just having fun. And another fun fact, since it's now 2022, it marks the 20-year anniversary of the debuts of arguably the greatest class in the history of WWE.
Rock, Cena, Batista, Orton.
Yep.
Shelton.
I mean, if you want to count Shelton, yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. 20 years ago, all those guys debuted on the main roster somewhere. What a run. Move on. Mandy survived against Raquel and Cora Jade, which Mandy being Mandy. Mandy upped her entrance. She pulled the Charlotte Flair, who pulled the Ric Flair. She came into NXT on a helicopter.
Nice.
So Mandy came in on a helicopter. Raquel stole Braun Strowman's motorcycle again, and Cora Jade came in on a mini skateboard.
Nice.
But all in all, it's kind of a sloppiest match because I don't know, Cora Jade's fucking 20. But Mandy steals the win, which I kind of expected. I don't know what you do with Raquel. Raquel looked so much the Amazonian part that she should have. She had both Mandy and Cora Jade on her shoulder, and she was walking around the ring with them.
Dude, what a fall from grace for Raquel Gonzalez.
You know what it
Think
is?
of her this time last year.
You know what it is? It's one of those things because it was Triple H does this often with its NXT talent. Remember when like Vince like just took away most of the women?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Let me keep Asuka." Triple H always keeps somebody back on purpose to like build around, and then they leave. And I think Raquel was that person that they're like, "Let me keep Raquel."
I guess, who got called up? I guess Shotzi, Tony Storm, rest in peace.
Rhea.
Rhea. Okay, maybe, yeah. I would say Rhea Ripley was that person they held back.
Well, no.
And Tegan got released.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. I honestly, there's no. I have no argument against them releasing Tegan. She couldn't stay healthy, and she injured herself again.
Oh, yeah, I will release.
Yeah, it's no hard feelings.
She got the knees of a 98-year-old.
I know. She's so cute as a button, though. I hate it. I hate it. Oh man! So moving on from New Year's Eve, you should watch the show at least for. I'll say this: we'll watch the show for Braun Breaker and Ciampa, great match for Roddy and Carmelo Hayes, and if you want to watch a good trios match, watch Imperium versus MSK and Riddle.
Yeah, I'd probably skip a few of those, but I'll probably watch the main event. I do like Carmelo Hayes. I do like Braun Breaker.
You know what I love about Carmelo Hayes before we move over to day one and the madness that main event was.
Shit show.
When Carmelo, I love that they use Carmelo Hayes' gimmick perfectly. He says, "When I shoot, I don't miss," and I'm just like, "Fuck, he hasn't lied yet." Which is the crazy part about it. When I shoot, I don't miss.
Shooter.
Yeah. Also, again, your favorite person, Cameron Grimes, had a video promo, and said it's going to be his year of championship. It's going to be the theme is 2022 the moon.
Ah, that's good. I like that. That's good.
Yes. All right. So let's move on to one of the bigger stories coming out of WWE this weekend. Day one, their pay-per-view on the first day of the year, which I was very surprised they went up against the Rose Bowl and a bunch of other college football games. And 2 hours before the event starts, it is revealed that Roman Reigns tested positive for COVID and would not be in attendance at day one. And however, even though that main event was failed, they created a new main event, a fatal five-way between Brock Lesnar, Big E, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and the newly crowned Seth freaking Rollins, because that's his real name now on WWE. And Lord Almighty, what a meat-slapping majesty of a match. This is everything I wanted.
Yeah, the match, outstanding. It was so much fun. It was great. It was absolutely great. But let me correct you a little bit with the Roman thing here, because here's what really happened. He tested positive on like Tuesday, and they were waiting until the last minute to keep testing and see he would test negative, and he didn't. Like, there's no doubt. They wouldn't, dude. They would not test you 2 hours before the show. WWE, in fact, stopped testing. They're not testing
Yeah,
anymore.
I know that.
They're like, fuck it. We're not testing anymore. It's over. We're not having this happen again. So he definitely tested positive earlier in the week, and they waited until the last minute to see what would happen. You know what? That's exactly what they should have done. They did it the exact right way. And obviously, he can't wrestle. He probably could have wrestled with COVID, but obviously, he can't wrestle with COVID.
Yeah, no, especially with his immunocompromised system, having leukemia and stuff. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm sure. In fact, a lot of the roster tested positive.
Yeah.
I think Sasha tested positive. Charlotte might have tested positive. Like, it just blew through. I would be surprised if some people on that card actually wrestled with COVID. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
But yeah, that's that. Main event, phenomenal. Loved it.
My God, just like
crazy.
Just
shocked that Brock won.
Just unreal. Just also unreal spots. KO and Seth Rollins going on a tear and taking everybody out. Oh shit, my bad. As we keep running through stuff. But a lot of crazy shit going on as I run through the slides as I accidentally hit the stop button.
Yeah, dude, the spear with Brock.
The spear with Brock.
They set up Bobby and Brock
perfectly, really
well. People are upset that it's happening at the Rumble. I say go fuck yourself. It's a big four. What else do you want in a stadium?
Yeah,
like it's fine to have them at Rumble. I mean, I love it actually.
I mean, but also think of day one, like the day one crowd. They actually sold out that arena. And I thought about it, like, how can they fucking compete with college football? There were no bowl games going on in Atlanta, and it's a holiday, and it's a Saturday. This, like, for them to test out, like, what can we do for a pay-per-view on a Saturday? I think this worked. Attendance-wise from, like, that was a packed house.
They were pretty loud, too. I mean, you could tell at times they're doing... I hate WWE still doing crowd noises. Like, they're piping in crowd noise, which really annoys the fuck out of me, because I can tell.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, no, the crowd was good.
The crowd was good.
Hot Atlanta was pretty hot.
Yeah, Atlanta was really hot. Yeah, KO splashing people. Biggie throwing, I love this picture. Biggie throwing Lashley through a fucking announce. Like, there was so much shit going on in this match, and I loved every moment of it. And this was a shocker. Bobby putting Brock solidly in the hurt lock.
Yeah. Their match, honestly, their match will probably be the best of both of their careers. And Brock, no, I mean not Brock's, but definitely the best of Lashley's career.
Yeah, this is what Lashley wanted when he resigned.
Yeah, this like his on Raw, that promo that promo he gave when like MVPs kind of went off. Focus. He is fucking focused.
Yeah.
So Lesnar fears me. And that was it. Perfect. Yeah, I'm ready. This match. I can't wait for this match.
Yeah. I mean, oh my god. And somehow, some way, Biggie takes out Lashley, gives him the big ending. Brock takes out Big E. Brock wins the WWE Championship. Brock came for a title. It wasn't the title everybody thought he was going to get. And now it sets up a whole bunch of interesting things. I do want to harp on one thing. People are saying like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Brock buried Big E. Why would you do this to Big E? And number one, shut the fuck up. Okay? Because he didn't. And Paul Heyman made that very clear on Raw.
Paul put him over pretty well.
Paul Heyman doesn't put over people often. The last two people I've ever heard him put over publicly when cameras were rolling, AJ Styles and Big E this time around. And Big E was, the AJ Styles one was on like a backstage like segment for .com.
Who did he put over at the Evolve 100?
Just the entire talent.
He put over Evolve.
Yeah, he put over Evolve. Because he was like, I don't do appearances, but I called Gabe Sapolsky and said I want to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know. But he put over Big E, and and I will say, I miss Advocate Paul Heyman. Holy fuck. He tore
It's been a while.
Tore up that promo.
It's been a while since we had one of those. It's been a while since we had one of those.
Yeah.
But before we get to Paul Heyman, it's a little to touch upon the Big E thing. I don't think Big E was buried at all.
No.
At all. I don't think he's WrestleMania main event kind of character.
I don't think his character's there yet. I mean, he had a good first run. He is going to get that title again.
It was, his title run was disappointing. I would say it was disappointing. But he's gonna get it again. The guy is a great talent.
He did awesome PR for them. Like everywhere he went. Like after he won that title, he was all over the place.
It's like you guys sell out stadiums, and I don't think Big E can sell out stadiums.
Not for this run into Rumble, not for your biggest part of a year. I would give it another year and a half before Big E's that headliner. But when you have somebody like Brock, and when you have somebody like Roman, and you have to headline 2 nights of WrestleMania, it doesn't get any bigger than those two guys in WWE.
Exactly. Exactly. Especially if you're not going to get The Rock.
Yeah. If you're not going to get The Rock, and you're going to wait till LA. So no, Big E had a fine run. He did everything the company wanted him to do, and Paul Heyman made that very clear. And I think it's actually a sign of respect that Brock actually pinned Big E and not somebody else.
It legitimizes Brock for sure. Mm-hmm. Again.
Yeah.
I shocked that Brock won, but now I'm intrigued. Although I hope they don't just drop the story. Like, Brock called out Roman and said, acknowledge me on Raw. I actually watched Raw, Ricky. You'd be proud of me. But, like, I hope when Roman comes back, like, he calls out Brock again and calls out Paul Heyman. And they continue to... If they just drop this storyline, that's just like, what the fuck, guys?
He said he showed up on SmackDown, too.
Oh, yeah. Brock? He is a free agent.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, I don't know what you do from here, though. I don't want to see Roman Brock at Mania again. I don't want to see it.
There's a lot of things you can do with this. Also, you also have to factor in that Brock's a face.
Oh yeah, I love.
Did you see all the videos that came out after day one?
Yeah, like the fans like, "Yo, Brock, I love you." Brock's like, it's 2020 is gonna be a different kind of year. Brock likes people. I butchered the meme, but it was hilarious. Yeah, Brock. I love Brock. I'm almost sad Paul means Dex. I like Brock on the mic.
I do too.
I like Brock on the mic. He's great. He's so good. He's having so much fun. I love the way he dresses. I love the way he looks. I love the way he talks. I love the way he hugs Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
It's a home run for me. Brock Lesnar's a home run for me, 100%. King of the night.
And
Brock Lesnar.
And Mr. French joining in too. Mr. French also made a good point. Brock, I guess some hockey announcers. Oh, Wayne Gretzky and them were like in Atlanta for like a hockey game, and Brock posed with them with the belt when he got back to the hotel.
Yeah, like he was backstage with Gable Steveson, like giving him a hug or whatever, giving him pointers. Like, yeah, this is the Brock WWE needs right now. To be honest, it's like, oh wait. Vince's like, what? He wants to give back. You mean I don't have to get? I still have to give him a private jet. All right, fine. All right, it's like people that much. That's fine. I wouldn't want to go through TSA either. But, yeah, Brock wants. Next thing you know, Brock will be at Access.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't at all.
The line for Brock Lesnar at Access would be remarkable.
Yeah, it would be out the door. Yeah. Be like, is this line to get in? No, it's the line for Brock Lesnar. You already got in.
The line to get in's on the other side.
Once you get in, just turn right out and go back. And once you get into this line, you gotta go back into that line. This sink, the line's so I can get hot dogs.
Oh my god. Oh, I love face Brock. And you know what? It's not just what wrestling needs, what WWE needs. It's what Raw needs.
Yeah. Raw, I'm not gonna lie. I saw Brock was gonna be in Raw. I'm like, I'll watch it. Yeah. You know, Raw was great. I thoroughly enjoyed Raw. It was a good show.
Yeah, it's
Hulu Raw. That is
Hulu Raw. It's what Raw needs. Let's move along, and now we have Lashley, Brock at the Rumble. I'm excited for MVP versus Paul Heyman in a promo battle for the next 3 weeks. Yeah,
I can't wait till Bobby Lashley just drops MVP.
I don't know. I love MVP.
I do too, but I think he could be used elsewhere.
Potentially. The backstage story is that Paul Heyman was the catalyst to bring MVP back in the first place.
I mean, MVP is a great talent.
Yeah.
He's okay in the ring.
He's a great mind.
But he's a great mind. He's a great heel. Mm-hmm. He's a great voice on the mic.
And he's the first ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion, which no one really knows.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
Who's the Intercontinental Champion now? I can't remember.
For IWGP?
No, for WWE.
Oh, son of a bitch. I want to say Shinsuke.
I was thinking about yesterday, who's the IC champ? Is it I don't know. I don't know if it... Because I saw a meme, it was just like, the IC title hasn't been defended on a pay-per-view since night 2 of WrestleMania.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. When's the last time the IC title's been defended?
You might be right. I think it's Shinsuke.
Who's the IC champion? I have no idea.
I want to say Shinsuke.
Mr. Fretz, who's the IC... Freckles, look it up. I can look it up, but I don't want to look it up. I want to remember.
Oh, he said Nakamura. He said Nakamura. It is true. It's Nakamura.
Okay.
It is Nakamura. Royal Rumble's set to be a great time. So let's move on to other things happening in the match. I love this photo. Edge and The Miz. Put on an Edge and The Miz match. Exactly what you would expect from the match.
Yeah. No, it wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold.
Just right.
It was the perfect bowl of porridge.
Yes. Speaking of porridge, here comes Beth Phoenix looking just like an 80s villain.
Looking like heel Brock Lesnar.
I didn't.
No, she missed her cue. Like she was out too early.
It was great. Her just like menacing look up front. It was pretty awesome. And so obviously
the music hit too late. It was the music that hit too late. But yeah, I'm all about it.
I'm all about it. I love that they're back together.
I'm all about it.
It's the it couple versus the grit couple. I thought this was going to stretch out to Mania, but I think it's ending at Rumble, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah.
Because I think here's my prediction. Because I think if they do correctly, we get Edge versus AJ Styles.
I think you're right. Fuck, AJ's not winning the Rumble.
I want Edge and Styles.
I think you're. Yeah, I want Edge and Styles too. Yeah. That's a match.
Yeah.
That I mean, honestly, I didn't know I would love Edge and Miz. Like you told me like, okay, what feud do you want to see Edge come back in? Miz isn't on the list, but it's great.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's why is Raw so good? What am I watching?
I don't know. I love it. Another fun fact that came out when Maurice and Beth Phoenix clash at the Rumble, they'll be the first women in history to fight in 3 different decades against each other.
Against each
Yeah.
other. Aughts, teens, and 20s. Okay.
Yeah. So.
It's like a 90s. Wait a minute.
Wait, no, too far.
I was like, oh wait, I'm that old. I'm almost 3 decades old. Fuck me.
So yeah, Royal Rumble's looking to be pretty cool. Moving on. I will say this: Liv against Becky Lynch. Liv looked better.
Better.
You know,
I'll use the word better.
I'll use better. She surprised me with that one move when she did like kind of like the corkscrew grab from Becky and the powerbomb.
Powerbomb.
Yeah,
that was good. I like the finish.
That's good. But you know what? Becky's just too much Becky, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Becky still overshadows her like hard.
Yeah.
But you know, Becky did her best to put her over. Mm-hmm. I don't dislike Liv, but Twitter's a weird place that loves Liv Morgan.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. I want to like Liv.
I want to like Liv too.
But I want
to like a lot. I want to like a lot of women on that roster that I just don't like.
Yeah.
Like Liv winning the Rumble.
No, please.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right.
You know,
who wins Women's Rumble? I don't know. Probably Bayley.
Yeah, that would be fine. You know, it's one of those things where like Liv comes back from like the match, and you look at her and you go, better. Like you're doing better. That's all you have to say. Like better. We still have to work.
And Paul Heyman's won the
title. Exactly.
Vince just like thumbs up. That's it. No hug, no handshake, no thank you. Just thumbs up.
You're doing good. Let's just keep it going. You know, she needs to revamp her mic skills. I will tell you about on Raw. It's just it's a cluster.
Yeah, it's bad. She can't speak.
Yeah.
She needs an MVP. No, she needs more TV time. Just keep her on TV, keep her relevant. Mm-hmm. Just like as Liv had this whole thing all year, is start and go.
You know what it is? You know what they need to do? They need to do to Liv what they did to Drew McIntyre like 2019. Remember at the end of 2019, Drew McIntyre did everything. Like it was like dark match. He was cutting promos on dark matches. He just practice.
Keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
She'll get there. And I'll believe in Liv one day. I don't believe right now.
Don't hit that stop button. I believe in you.
I'm not gonna hit that stop button at all. And plus, I mean, Taylor's old time. The Usos in the New Day put on another fucking classic match.
Yeah, it was good.
I love these guys.
I've seen it 18 times, but yeah great.
Love
it. Day one is H. They're glad they won.
How could they not win on day one?
That's why they lose.
Well, no, because Woods is from Atlanta. Woods is gonna lose.
Yeah.
They gotta win on day one. If Roman could you imagine if Roman doesn't show up and the Usos lose?
Be a bad day for the bloodline.
It'd be a horrible day for the bloodline. Absolutely horrible day for the bloodline. And so at day one, obviously the Royal Rumble is now underway because day one is over. Some people who have already been announced or forced into the Royal Rumble, a la Austin Theory. Vince McMahon put Austin Theory in the Royal Rumble. The Mysterios declared Dominic and Ray check out for a heel turn somewhere. The Street Profits also declared for the Rumble. And last but not least, with the first declared entrant into the Royal Rumble above all of these guys, as far as I hit my own mic, is Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville declared for the Royal Rumble, and I can't wait to see a man die on wrestling TV.
Dude, I just hope the Big Show punches him. Like, is this 20 years too late? But all right, Johnny Knoxville in the Rumble. Okay.
Well, you're not gonna get Steve-O, although I would love to see Steve-O in the Rumble.
Omos just throws him into the third row, Bam Bam style.
That's my question. Who takes out Johnny Knoxville in the Rumble?
Someone big. Or a legend.
I say Randy RKO's the shit out of him.
Oh, he'd do it.
Yeah.
Dude, they'd both. That's what I want to see.
I want to see Randy get RKO'd. Randy RKO'd Johnny Knoxville. Oh, man. I mean, it's all in promo because the Jackass Forever is coming out, which I will see in movie theaters. I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to see it, too. I love Jackass. It's always funny. Jackass is never not funny. Yeah. It's always funny.
And so this is just going to... This is a perfect Rumble spot. Like Johnny Knoxville's done some dumb shit before. Like when he went up, like when he went up against
Bull.
Was it?
The Bull.
Well, yeah,
Bull,
yeah.
Bull
No, he's
fighting.
done that a couple times. No, he went to a USC practice, like the football team, and returned punts.
Oh, he returned punts.
Yeah. I gotta send you the video. The coach literally looked at him and was like, "Are you sure?"
Johnny Knoxville, like more than one
Yeah.
punt. Oh my god, that's hilarious. He also got knocked the fuck out by Butterbean. Butterbean, like twice, knocked him the fuck out. Like once was in a ring, and it was like in a grocery
Yeah, I heard
store.
about the
or
grocery store moment.
it was like an outlet. He got knocked out in a clothing store, like a Kohl's.
Oh man, says Johnny Knoxville is in the Royal Rumble, and once you declare for the
So
Rumble, I was like sold. I'm watching it. Like I don't care.
So fucking stupid. I ordered 2 pizzas.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. So Johnny Knoxville definitely not the front runner for the Rumble, but we will see.
No.
We will see what
I
happens.
think close.
Overall, I think day one was a success. I think they'll probably do it again if the timing is right, or maybe they'll call it day 2 or something, or they'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, next year, day one is it's not a leap year. Day one next year is a Sunday. They could
They
do
can
it.
do it. Yeah. Yeah, they can do it. We'll see what happens. But here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about everything going on in AEW on TBS. New Japan Pro Wrestling has Wrestle Kingdom. And guess what? They're kind of back on the east, not the far east, on the west again on TV coming soon. So all of that and much more when we come back on the brand new and maybe improved Kings of the Rings Podcast 2.0 setup. So give us like 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
Midnight music. Midnight music.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 277, day 5. It's our first show of the new year. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose, along with the Willie T. Will Tarashuk. No K. Murphy. K. Murphy is celebrating their COVID Christmas, seeing they were in isolation for a little bit of time. So, okay, hopefully you got all the presents you wanted, including a negative test. But moving along in our show, we're going to talk about AEW. And AEW has also had some moving that they were doing themselves, and AEW has now moved over officially to TBS. It's an upgrade, it's a downgrade, who knows? We'll find out. And they have a pretty loaded card for their first show, which they're doing right now as we're recording. The AEW World Championship match kicked off the show. Hangman Page, the defending champion, versus Bryan Danielson. Now, I want to read to you, Will, a couple of special stipulations that were set for this match. The stipulation tonight is that if the match does go to a time limit draw, it will go to judges who will be scoring the match a la an MMA or boxing style and decide the winner. Which I am very happy that they did this, and I think they should keep this for championship matches only.
What, the judges?
That there has to be a winner.
Yeah, did they say who the judges are?
And from what I got from a Doomsday Device, so shout out to AJ Skywalker and the Doomsday Device, I do not know who the judges are.
It's interesting. It's an interesting thing to do in wrestling.
I mean, if you're going to go to a time limit draw, you cannot keep doing time limit draws in championship matches, because that's just going to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's the first time I've done it.
Yeah, but I like the concept.
I love the time limit draw, for sure. I love it. I love it when it's used correctly.
Yeah.
And so far, they've used it correctly.
Yeah. I just want to. My whole thing. You can do time limit draws. It's fine, cool, whatever. Especially if you're doing wins and losses, which the AEW doesn't really keep to.
They reset every year. What's the point?
Yeah. It's also in jerseys now. You could have went, Will.
Yeah, I don't want to go. Newark smells, dude.
Dave's there.
Newark is a stinky place.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but you could have, as long as you don't have time limit draws in championship matches. Like, championship matches must have a definitive winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. I like the judges. I like the judges.
And I think they should keep it for like their big pay-per-views. So at like Full Gear, they have a championship match and they do a time limit. You can say like your judges are, they could be random ass celebrities. You know?
And also, if you have judges, you don't you could just end the match in 40 minutes or 25 minutes. Like, the judges are there, doesn't mean you're gonna go to them automatically.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, so I like it even more if they have that stipulation in there for for tonight. I know who wins, but I don't know how they won. Like, if they win, that person wins like in a half hour. They don't need the judges. I think that's smart booking.
Yeah. Or you can make the judges anonymous and really gimmick it up.
Yeah.
What?
The judges: Tommy Dreamer, Tommy Dreamer,
Bully Ray,
Lita, and Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris just gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, just gives a thumbs up. Who wins, Chuck? Thumbs up. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, right. So moving along, that championship match tonight, you also have the TBS champion.
Finally.
Finally. Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho. I don't know who won. Someone's probably going to ruin it for me.
Give it to Ruby. I don't know who won either, but give it to
Ruby. I would
Ruby.
want Jade because I don't know. I mean, I understand Ruby, Jade. Either one doesn't really matter. Like, someone needs to just win this goddamn
I'm not going to watch the match. The fuck do I care?
Yeah. Well, I was make the judges Jim Cornette, Booker T, and Bully Ray. I'd pay to see that, actually.
Vince Russo, 6 feet of cage, Vince Russo again, and then Jim Cornette. Russo, Cornette, and Flair, right? Those are your judges.
Nothing will get done. Oh, man. Someone needs to put the belt on the TV.
Yeah, Russo, Cornette, and Bischoff, 3 people who just all hate each other. None of these people like each other.
Oh my god, that'd be great. But yeah, Ruby Soho versus Jade Cargill should be a fun match. You also have Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. on the card. as well
fine.
as the AEW World Tag Team Championships, Lucha Bros and Lucha Brothers, the AEW World Tag Team Champions versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. It's actually not bad. I'm interested in that.
It's a good match. I honestly, dude, I'm not that big a fan of Lucha Bros. They have great matches.
I love the
they
Lucha
annoy me.
Bros.
They annoy the fuck out
Is
of
the
me.
Sierra Miedo thing?
It is.
I knew it.
It is.
I knew it.
It really is. I love the Penta says, but they just annoy me. I just like, dude, stop doing that. It's shut up. Just fucking wrestle. They probably went ooh-ah every 5 minutes. Just do it once. Not maybe once a match, maybe once in a few matches, but no. It's like high spot, Sarah, and it's how do you not counter it? It's like do this fucking countdown. Don't count down when you're gonna kick somebody. That's how they know. It doesn't make any sense in kayfabe. If you can't counter from you can't counter from a countdown, you should be released. Sorry, Keith Lee, you couldn't counter a countdown. You couldn't hit the left trigger at 1, right? That's your fault.
Depends on the difficulty setting he was playing at.
Right? For fuck's sake.
Also on this card, you have MJF is going to be doing something, and Chris Jericho is going to speak. What's he going to speak about? Who knows? Which is, Chris Jericho could speak about anything.
Him and Eddie Kingston going into a feud.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's great. I can't wait.
Huh. That'd be interesting. Kingston versus Jericho? Okay.
Yeah, it's the match. It's gonna be terrible match. Match is gonna be awful, but the promos
fantastic.
Mwah.
Mwah. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. Also, there's a lot of AEW going on this week. You have Battle of the Belts this Saturday. So you have AEW tonight on TBS DW. You have Rampage on Friday, which is an hour. Then you have Battle of the Belts back on TNT, a 1-hour special feature
on Saturday.
Huh?
Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday at 8 o'clock. Featuring Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title.
Dude, Cody winning that belt again. I just laughed at my TV. I just go, you dumbass, dude. You fucking moron. You're everything we hate about John Cena without the talent. Fucking idiot. Why would you give yourself the belt?
I don't know. And
it's not going to make people like you.
Yeah. As well as the women's title is on the line, Dr. Breaker DMD versus Riho. Yeah, it's the only 2 matches on the card. I would be surprised, since they're only going a fucking hour, that there'd be anything else on the card, but who knows with AEW.
You could squeeze in another match. I don't know. The Impact title. I don't know.
No, Impact has their pay-per-view Hard to Kill, which is going on after the event.
Oh, that's cute.
There's going to be more on Impact a little bit later. I love how they call it Battle of the Belts, and technically it is multiple belts, but it's...
2 is more than 1, Ricky. You're correct.
It's just their way of saying, like, we can't get Clash of the Champions just yet. So we have to do...
No, we don't own that.
Yeah. Battle of the Belts seems like it could have been a good pay-per-view for them. And like I feel like it's wasted on a special. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But we'll see what happens. Not everything's going to be dependent at Battle of the Belts. So let's move on from AEW to the...
Honestly, I think AEW has too many specials.
I think they do, too.
It's like, yeah, okay, you don't need to do monthly pay-per-views. That's fine. But you're doing, like, bi-weekly specials now.
Yeah, it's like, was it Winter is Coming?
Winter is Coming wasn't really, special.
Yeah, no.
It was another episode of Dynamite. Just call it Dynamite. All right, it's fine. you had Winter Bash, Christmas Bash, and like Holiday Smash, or New Year's Bash and Christmas Smash and New Year's Revolution, whatever the fuck. It's just like, isn't this show called Dynamite? Like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know, and I'm interested to see how they will do on TBS. I have concerns because, like...
dip in the ratings and it'll go back up. They'll be fine. Yeah.
I'm interested... Well, I mean, they're not going to compete against anything on TBS. Like, what is... All TBS shows is...
Oh, no, they're the Prim Family Guy again. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, like, the only thing that they'll have to compete is March Madness, which is going to suck for them, because they do use TBS for the first 2 rounds. Or first... maybe first 4 rounds of March Madness. TBS March Madness, and then baseball from time to time.
Yeah, the baseball playoffs and the occasional baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's really,
But always on weekends anyway.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens with them. But let's move over to New Japan. New Japan, obviously, it's the beginning of the year, and Wrestle Kingdom is happening, a 2-night Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom 16. I guess it's Wrestle Kingdom 16.
it was 3 nights. Someone told me it was 3
No,
nights.
it's 2 nights.
That
It is
wrong?
2. They are not expanding to 3 nights. I'll be damned if anything goes 3 nights. Like, no.
Can you imagine?
No.
Fucking imagine.
2 nights is good enough. Okay, so I'm going to recap to you from my people over at the Doomsday Device. Shout out to AJ Skywalker and Doomsday Device. Some of the big matches from Night 1 and Night 2. In particular, Night 1 included the IWGP World Heavyweight title. Shingo Takagi, the champion, versus Kazuchika Okada, who won the G1 Climax. The winner of that match would go on to defend the title in Night 2 against the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, who's finally making his return from injury. Night 1 matches also included the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, El Desperado versus Hiromu Takahashi. The Tag Team Championships, Dangerous Techers, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi versus Chaos' Hiroku Goto and Yoshihashi, the Never Openweight Championship. Tomohiro Ishii versus Evo, which is definitely a hot alert. You also have a Catch Wrestling Rules match, which was Shibata versus a mystery opponent. I actually don't know who it was. Los Ingobernables, Sonata, Bushi, and Naito versus the United Empire of Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay, and the Great Khan. And then you have Ricky Romero, Taguchi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace, versus whatever's left of the Bullet Club. What?
Young Bucks can't. Oh wait, that's the elites.
Yeah,
Whatever.
which apparently Kenta is now in the Bullet Club. Yeah,
So trendy, Kenta.
Taji Ishimori and El Fantasma are all in the Bullet Club.
Next thing I tell me, is going to use the Anaconda Vice.
Yo versus Show in a grudge match. Night 2 obviously we know will feature the winner of Okada versus Takagi versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You also have the United States title match, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenta, Naito versus Cobb, Sonata versus the Great Khan, openweight 6-man tag team match, Goto, Yoshihashi, and Yo versus Evil, Takahashi and Sho. Oh, and they have a Stardom match, which is very interesting. Stardom gets a match. Stardom is one of the female wrestling promotions in Japan, so Stardom gets a match in here.
Is it Sexy Star?
Oh my God, no.
What happened to her? What was her controversy? She called someone the N-word or something?
No, was she was like shooting on people in the ring.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
it was?
Yes. And then you also have the IWGP Junior Tag Team title match. So
It ain't ballet.
IWGP Junior Tag Team title match. So Wrestle Kingdom loaded card. From what I've heard, it's been pretty good so far. I'll watch it at some point. I actually do enjoy watching Wrestle Kingdom. It's usually some good stuff. But moving along with New Japan Pro Wrestling, they announced that they're opening up the Forbidden Door in particular. So they released this on January 4th, stating that New Japan Pro Wrestling is returning to Access TV, the same TV company that holds Impact, beginning January 20th, and all new weekly programs premiering on Thursday, March 3rd, starting at 10 p.m. So New Japan and Impact Wrestling are all going to be on the same television channel each and every Thursday, starting at 8 o'clock, starting January 20th. So before they start their new shows on March 3rd, they are going to kick off their January 20th with throwbacks of some classic New Japan matches, including the New Japan match. Where is it? I'm looking for it in their press release. They're showing classic New Japan match from Wrestle Kingdom, which I believe was the first time Jericho and Omega went at it. If I'm looking at this correctly. Group. Yeah, whatever. It is a lot of going on for Impact. So you have Impact going on at 8, and then New Japan will be going on at 10. Either a new episode or classic episode. So this is a big deal, I think. I think Thursday nights just got a little bit interesting for NJPW people or people on the East Coast who want to get their NJPW fix. You're now able to do so. It is Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega from Wrestle Kingdom 12 was the first match that they're going to show when they debut back on Access TV. So if you think about the wrestling schedule this way, Will, you have...
I have to. That's too much.
I'm just going to tell you, you don't have to watch all this. I'm just going to tell you what it is right now on a weekly...
It's still too much.
I know. Raw on Mondays.
3 hours.
NXT on Tuesdays, 2 hours.
2 hours. 5 hours.
AEW on Wednesday.
2 more hours. 7 hours.
Potentially 4 hours of wrestling combined between Impact and New Japan.
So that's 11 hours.
A 2-hour SmackDown on Fridays.
Yep. 13 hours.
1 hour Rampage after that as well.
14 hours.
And if you watch 205 Live, that's also an hour. So, but we'll keep it at 14.
You don't,
so
though.
14.
So 14 hours.
Yeah.
And then maybe a pay-per-view.
17?
17 hours.
If you are to watch all of wrestling. All of the wrestling that
on
counts.
average.
Yeah.
So on average, like 15 and a half hours of wrestling a week.
Yeah.
That's too much, man. That's like...
That's a lot.
That's almost 2 work days.
Yeah, it's 2 work days of wrestling.
You're almost halfway to a full. You're almost halfway there to a full. That's a part-time job, dude.
Yeah. It has become a part-time job to watch wrestling. I'm interested for it. I do have this urge to check out Impact. Because Impact's doing quite well for themselves. They're like the gift that keeps on giving. They're like the roach that survives the apocalypse. But they still do well. I'm interested to see what they're doing because they have Mickey James and now they have the Iconics, or the Inspiration as they call themselves, as their champions, and what's going on in their division. Gotta see what Zack Ryder's doing these days. Remember when Matt Cardona debuted on AEW and I thought he was like, oh, Matt Cardona's here, and then he went straight to Impact.
I remember how fucking tall he is. He's so big.
Shout out to Matt Cardona, too. He just got married. He married Chelsea Green, lucky bastard. Good for him. Proud of it.
WWE was my developmental. No, bro. Fucking catering was your developmental. Don't give yourself too much credit there, bro.
YouTube was his developmental.
That too.
So last but not least, as we start to end the show, obviously we're going to end with a little bit of a Future Shock, our first predictions of this brand new year. And our Future Shock revolves around the upper news that came out of NXT New Year's Evil is the return of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, with the men's tournament beginning in 2 weeks and the women's tournament beginning at the beginning.
And the women's tournament having 2 teams
at the beginning of February. So, who wins? Who's in the tournament?
Sorry, 3 teams. 1 team gets a bye.
1 team gets a bye. The men's tournament, I think, is going to be interesting because you have Jacket Time, who's really fucking funny. You have Diamond Mines Tag Team. You have MSK. You have Imperium. You have Josh Briggs and his country friend.
But didn't Diamond Mine all get released? They're still a thing.
No, Diamond Mine. Not all of Diamond Mine got released. All of Diamond Mine stayed.
Is Boa still there?
Boa is still there. Boa's like becoming like this two-faced psychotic person, like he's possessed. It's kind of weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They should just make him like the dude from Big Lebowski. That's just like your. And remember, this kind of promo is like, well, that's just like your opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the men's tag teams are good. I'm very scared for the women's tag team.
They don't have any.
We don't have actual tag team. It's going to be a lot of girls paired together.
They don't have any on the main roster
either. The
only
tag team they have, and the one tag team that I think should win, is Casey and Kaden.
Yeah, I love them together. They're so cute on Instagram, too. Kaden Carter's Instagram is a lot of fun, not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. Her TikTok videos are fucking hysterical.
Yeah, she just reposted TikToks, and it's like, oh, really shaking ass, can't you?
Did you see the TikTok she did on New Year's Eve when Damian Priest and them were all over her house?
Yeah. And it's like, God damn, girl, you got a big-ass family. Oh, y'all fucking a lot.
Also, you got Legado del Fantasma would also be a tag team that could win the Dusty Classic as well. Speaking of which, New Year's Evil, they talked about Elektra Lopez and Zion Quinn. Will, this will get your heart racing. So apparently it's going to be next week on NXT. It's going to be Zion Quinn versus Santos Escobar, and the winner gets Elektra Lopez.
No, she's married though. So I'm not interested.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break your heart, Will. But
Yeah, well, her Instagram's like a lot of like her in suits. I'm just like, this isn't sexy. So I unfollowed her. She got them tickle old bitties, don't get me wrong, but she's married and she posts up in suits. Man, not doing it for me.
So you're off the Elektra Lopez train.
Yeah. I'm still on that Kaden Carter train though. God damn.
Yeah. Gotta love me some Kaden Carter. But yeah, I think Kaden and Casey will win the women's. I don't know who wins the men's. I doubt you get MSK as 2-time winners. Oh boy, I wouldn't be surprised.
Although if Beth Phoenix comes back with popcorn, I hope they win.
Beth Phoenix comes back with popcorn. Can you imagine if once this thing is over, Beth Phoenix just all of a sudden returns to NXT?
She should. She fucking should. She goes on there. It's like, yeah, we all know why I left. Now I'm back. Who's her replacement, or is there?
There is no replacement. It's
okay. Yeah, she's coming back then. Totally.
Yeah, it's just Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett, which I love. Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett. I think they're great.
Yeah, they're great. Honestly, Beth and Barrett were great too. They were a great trio.
Because Barrett was a dick, and Beth is just like, stop being a dick.
Yeah, and Vic Joseph's just like, I'm just here to do my job. I love Vic Joseph, man. He's a great announcer.
I think he's engaged or married to one of the backstage announcers. One of the, I think the Migligs.
Probably Sarah Schreiber.
It's not Schreiber, I think.
Oh, it's not Kayla. I'm also big into Kayla Braxton.
It's not Kayla Braxton. I love me.
Kayla Braxton is such a boo.
Yeah, it's not Kayla.
Oh, she is just cute as a
button.
button.
Think the world would know if Kayla Braxton got wiped up by somebody.
Oh yeah, I'd know. I got my little birds on.
And that's just bothering me. Who is Vic Joseph engaged with? I gotta figure this out. I know it's a blonde.
Let me Google it. Who's Vic Joseph fucking?
That's one way to go about it.
Well, apparently Vic Joseph thinks Michael Cole is the greatest announcer of all time. Vic Joseph relation. Let me try to be more friendly with Google. Mackenzie Mitchell.
There it is. That's the girl. She's an NXT backstage announcer.
Yeah, last November they got engaged.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Mitchell. I like Vic Joseph. Great talent.
Kayla Braxton becomes Mrs. Fretz. Fretz, stop it. Oh man, okay. I have a good game of FMK for you when we do the post show. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, my predictions for the Dusty Classic. Oh my god, maybe Diamond Mind will win, and then
you act like I care.
But I'm
okay, bro. All right.
If it's not Casey and Kaden winning the women's, it'll be a travesty. Because they need to fucking win something so they can move on and do upper flippy shit on the main roster.
Oats to the Magoats.
Yep. But that's all we got this week for our show. So thank you guys for joining us. I think it was a good show to kick off a new year.
Yeah, that was fun. Day 5-ish. Next week will be day 12-ish, and then day 19-ish.
Yeah.
And then whatever that plus 7 is.
Plus 26.
26-ish, and then it's February-ish. February 2nd-ish.
Some ish like that. Who knows? But yeah, you guys stick around before because we are not going to be done after we're done with
find out who I'm marrying, and
we are going to do an FMK on our post show, our Tip of the Crown post show. So we're going to be featuring some of the best tweets of the week that we found, and we're just going to shoot the shit for a little bit longer. But before we do it, let's listen to that brand new, sponsored by Midnight Music outro. Let's hear it, baby.
So mysterious.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 277, day 5-ish. I am your day 1-ish announcer, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ in Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast on Facebook, on Twitter, at KOTR_podcast. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, find us on Twitch as well at KOTR_podcast. Like, share, subscribe, leave us some 5-star reviews. Listen to us wherever you listen to any of your podcasts or where you get all of your podcasts, like Spotify, Apple Music, so on and so forth, by subscribing to Wrestle Addict Radio, our mothership of a network. And follow Wrestle Addict Radio at addict_wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio on Facebook and Instagram. The links to all of our stuff, including some of the great beats that you're hearing from Midnight Music, are in the description below. Willie T, what do you got for me?
The works, same shit, different day. My name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. My brand new podcast called Talking with Tarashuk is available now anywhere podcasts can be found. My very first guest was with Phil Riccobono, who is a PhD, also an MLB scout living in Japan.
Wow.
We don't meet all that,
Wow.
Ricky. Listen to the interview. I think you'd really like it. Me and him go in depth on a lot of different things: baseball scandals, the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose, what we think of Shohei Ohtani, and Stephen A. Smith. And it was recorded back in October, so it's a little tiny bit dated, but
That's
not really. But yeah, listen to it. He's great. Next week I have what do I have next week? I think next week's a comic book investor.
Ooh.
He does alternative investing, the comics, anime, and wrestling. So I talked to him for almost 2 hours. He was a great guy. Also, the Ambiguous Podcast Solution is brand new. The episodes are out now with the Pitches podcast. Ricky, you also like them too. So they take two different ideas. So they take like SVU and Blue's Clues, and like, what if these two were a show? And they pitch it to each other. They write scripts, they play games. It's a lot of fun. These guys are fucking amazing.
That's fantastic.
And then next week is the college life coach, who's a life coach for college students, if anyone is interested in that. If you have a podcast, want to be a guest, hit me up, will@apspodcast.com. If you have a podcast I find it interesting, we can cover it on the Ambiguous Podcast Solution. Or if you just want to talk to me about whatever, Mr. Fretz, I'm looking at you. I want to talk to you on Talk with Tarashuk. I'll book that myself, because I know how to reach you, Mr. Fretz. But yeah, that's all my podcasts coming out in the next few weeks, or are already. And all clips are on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
Support the fam.
Support the fam in any way you can. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get out of here. When we come back next week, K Murphy will be back. We'll hear what they got for Christmas on their COVID Christmas. We'll talk about who else has entered the Royal Rumble, what's going on with AEW, what's going on with Impact, who won the TBS title, and what's going on with New Japan and the fallout from Wrestle Kingdom. So all of that and more. So we'll see you next week. Until then, folks, goodbye, good night, fuck you, Slack. First one of 2022. And we'll see you.
It may be a new year, but baby, it's the same entrance outro music.
Yeah, see you soon, folks.
All the days
Midnight music.
All right, Ricky, so who we got us in this fuck, Mary kill? Who we got here? Okay, let me get this started. Oh, no, not podcast. I don't want radio announcer voice. I want podcast voice and takeoff processing. I would sound so silly if I put that filter on. That preset, excuse me. All the days of my life. Yes, that's why I renamed this podcast. It's also on this mixer. Like, I had to buy a micro SD card I can put into the mixer and record through the mixer, and everything gets recorded on its own track. So I could technically just throw it on the computer and then import it that way. So I don't actually need to record while on Adobe while we're going. I can do it in the mixer and put it in afterwards. It takes a little longer, but it works just the same. I do it as a backup sometimes if I need to, but it's very, very useful. It's gonna be very, very useful when I go back to doing like live podcasts again. If I go back to doing live podcasts again, or live recordings, I should say. We do it right now, but I mean like throwing things in like the Zoom call into vMix. I mean like that kind of live. I could go live that way. I could go live. Just that's tough. Let me normalize this. Host one. Normalize this. Hardware. Midnight music. I don't even mind that the midnight music is in there. I know he just does that, so like I know he gave all this stuff away for free, but I don't mind that the midnight music stuff is in there because he gave it away for free. But I think it kind of adds to it, to be honest. Like they put it in, he puts it in transitions. It's a new Brock. He fades out. I always forget we actually have ads. Yeah. Yeah, I'm using the same IDs and drops every week. Yeah, I gotcha. Little like shitty, but I got you. Yeah, further away. That's what I'm looking for. It works. Thing. Really? Hello, world. Can you hear me? Is there anybody out there? Anybody hear me? Is anyone alive out there? Waited too long. How good a true love can be. I translate for you. No, you gotta figure this shit out. What am I gonna do? What episode is this? 277. Let me see if I can hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you at all. Actually, I probably put my audio through the TV. That would help. Well, I'm going out there. I'm live to the people. I'm live to the four of you watching. It's the Willie T Power Hour, motherfuckers.
Yeah, intermission real quick.
It's actually my audio actually sounds a lot better.
Midnight music.
Yep, all it needed was a little bit of a reset. Hey, folks, we're back.
That's usually what it
Yeah,
requires.
a little bit of a reset. Sorry about that. Welcome.
Oh, there you
go,
are.
Yes.
There you
I
are.
am. There I am, folks. Can you guys hear me now? People watching. Frets and computer.
Hey, you sound good. Why do you still sound shitty to me though?
Oh, let me change the mic real quick.
Yeah.
Let me change the mic on the Skype. Hold on.
Sounds like King's Wings like 14.
That's probably better for you now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Let me talk
to you.
I'll say.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So FMK, fuck, marry, kill. You have Caden, Casey,
Yep. Okay.
and I forgot who the third was.
Casey, Caden, and Kayla.
Yeah. There it is. There's 3 Ks.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, Casey Carr is getting killed. Casey Catanzaro is getting killed. I'm sorry. Too small.
Okay.
No, there's no junk in that trunk and no titties. Sorry. This is what I like. Look at my girlfriend. Christ. I'll marry Kayla because she's just so adorable. She'll cook for me. I'll like her family. Me and her brother will get along. And I'm fucking that ass so hard for Kayla. For what's her name? The other one.
Caden Carter.
Kaden Carter. Oh yeah, she's a freak. She'll be a lot of fun. But I don't know. She's too. I think she's too crazy for me. Well, me and Kayla would vibe so well. We could talk. We would talk about Survivor. Like, like we would just talk about so many different things.
Yeah.
Like the relationship I have with Jazz would be very similar to what I would have with Caleb Braxton.
Oh man, low key crush on everybody has a crush on Caden Carter. Oh, I love his reaction that I found on Twitter.
I don't have me.
These tweets I found are actually really good this week. Like Austin Theory with Edge. The Beth Phoenix one, which I found today, is really funny. This one is actually hits 2 home.
Yeah, let me see this shit. The Simpsons one?
Yeah.
And showing Tony Khan how to buy.
Barry, black apples without tweeting.
That's funny.
Well, I know we didn't cover it on the show, but you hear about that Tony Khan fiasco, which it still kind of gets under my skin. About it.
No, what happened? What happens? I might have heard of it.
So, Swole went on a podcast. She gave some good criticism about AEW and how it functions.
Okay, what we got?
I'll read it for you. I gotta find it now.
You need Spark Notes.
She was just like, and this happened on New Year's Eve. You know, she goes, I explained to Tony Khan that I didn't want to resign because my peace is being disrupted. If anybody knows me or myself, if anything is disrupting your peace, it's time to let it go. She just said we didn't see eye to eye, but there we were. She says...
Yeah, she wasn't being used.
Yeah. She goes... she talked about how there seems to be a lot of the structure's too loose. And,
Dude, apparently he spends $22,000 a week on catering.
That's ridiculous. So here's what she said. She goes, I told him in my exit, she had an exit interview with AEW, says there are a lot of things that need to change. I know fans of the company don't take criticism well sometimes, certain ones. Know this is somebody from the inside, but structure is a little off. It's fine to be loose, but I like to have a little bit more structure. I felt like women shouldn't have gone through everything they went through just to get on TV or get time. You're signed to this big company, you should get time. All these men are getting time, but the women aren't getting anything, or you're not putting people on TV because more people are coming in. Okay, there are more people coming in, but you don't have enough product for all of these people. Now you have all of these people sitting around having 2 or 3 minute matches on Dark. Doesn't keep me happy. Shoveling more money doesn't keep a person happy. We've seen time and time again, especially in a place where there's not enough space. There's no writers in a sense. Not everyone is comfortable writing their own things. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's exactly what that environment is. If you are shy and don't know how to write or are not creative, it's not going to work unless they want it to work for you. That's one of their biggest issues. She then went on to say, but outside of lack of structure, their biggest issue was diversity. I do not beat around the bush when it comes to diversity in my people. There is no representation truly, and when there is, it does not come across in the black community as genuine, aka Mandy Rose, at all. I don't know why everybody is so afraid to accept it or say it, but it's not a good look. What happens is, you have this wonderful company that treats people like family, but there's nobody that looks like me, but is represented at the top and in the room with them. We're not helping to necessarily influence decisions, but to explain why certain slang and certain words shouldn't be said. There's no one else who can explain our culture and experience except for us. And so that's pretty much what she said.
Okay.
Which seems, which to me sounds respectable. I mean, she's not saying I hate AEW. She's just saying that it wasn't, it wasn't jamming for her. It wasn't vibing. And I think her thing about like you're adding people and there's not enough time for the people that are already there makes sense. And so
I'll say from her perspective, like, I understand where she is coming from. And from that perspective, I don't think she's saying anything that's like wrong or like ridiculous or like stuff that should give her critique. I think that's her perspective. I understand it, and I think it's fair. Now, then again, from AEW's perspective, am I going to choose Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, all these big names, or a bunch of women who are unknown and aren't that good to begin with?
But here's the thing. I mean, One Big Swole is good, but she's never gonna.
She's good. Yeah, she was underutilized 100%. But she has no one to work with.
That is a huge issue.
Her and Britt already feuded. I mean, that's just in general. If I'm Tony Khan, if I'm AEW, I'm taking the biggest names out there to build my new company, not thinking how can I keep these women happy. Sorry, you just aren't. It's the free market. It's what's popular, what's gonna work, and right now what they're doing is working. So I understand Swole's frustration, and she's right to be frustrated, and that's why she left. I think she made the right decision leaving. But I'm not going to say AEW is doing something wrong or whatever. I think AEW is also doing the right thing because you got to get those names to keep your product relevant and alive, and it's done great wonders for their product. Way more than what if you gave women 20 more minutes, your product would be worse.
But the fact of the matter is that these women that you signed are not getting time, and I think for Swole, I can't speak for her, but I know for me, when AEW first signed us up, we know all this talent that you haven't seen and is unsigned, and you're gonna get a chance to see them actually shine and do their things.
Well, yeah, they promoted that before all these big names. Cards started to change, Ricky. All right, their business strategy changed when certain factors
But that
became available. I'm not saying they lied. I'm saying they took advantage of an opportunity. They changed their
they
mind.
went the political route of it. But like I think that's one of the things that kind of would probably irk her. She's like, oh, I'm a good talent that I didn't get a chance to show, and that's say what you want about NXT and NXT 2.0 new talents. These new talents are getting a chance to be on TV and they're not being pushed down by these other popular people. Be it as it may. So
Yeah.
Big Swole says that. It comes out an article on New Year's Eve. Tony Khan.
This is going to be adorable.
Tony Khan proceeds to ramble off in a tweet. I got to find this Tony Khan tweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, Tony.
Tony Khan begins to ramble off in a tweet about all these black people that have been on TV in the past month of December.
I can't be racist. I hire black people.
Pretty much, Tony Khan's like, I'm a person of color. So is this other person in the executive board. We're people of color.
I mean, he is a person of color. He is a minority.
But
I mean, barely. Khan, what's his ethnicity? Where's his family from? I mean, well, this guy's a billionaire. Doesn't mean he's not a minority.
He doesn't. Here's the thing. He acts more like when I see him, I see like, oh, rich entitled kid instead of like minority, which is kind of weird.
Wait. So you don't consider Tony Khan a person of color?
I mean, no, I do, but I'm saying I just don't. I just don't
rich?
see him more that way because it doesn't flow.
Okay.
And, it's one of those quirks. It's like the.
He's not a victim, but he's definitely a minority.
I don't see him as like a victim. He is a minority, but he's not like a victim. Put it that way. But he goes on a ramble of all these black people, all these people of color that are in AEW, and then out of the blue he goes, "I fired Big Swole because she wasn't good enough at wrestling." Then he goes, "See you guys tonight for Rampage at 10."
That's rude. Honestly, Tony, that was a dick move. That was a dick move,
yeah.
bro. Shouldn't have done that. Fucking idiot on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hey man, you can think Big Swole is a bad wrestler. You could have fired her for that wrong. Reason. You just don't. That's an indoor thought. You don't say that publicly, bro. Like, yeah, we all know WWE fired people because they don't think they're good enough. They don't say that publicly. They fucking lie. Welcome to corporate media. Tony, Bubby, you need some media training.
Oh my god, I gotta find it. What exactly did he say?
You think Vince McMahon means it when he says we wish you your best in your future endeavors? No. No. He doesn't say we fired Keith Lee because I didn't like his wrestling style. That's the reason. We don't say that. Tony, man. Yeah, no, but again, Big Swole definitely handled it the right way. I disagree with some of her points, but I respect and understand her opinion and her perspective.
Well, here's what he said. He goes, the top two AEW execs are Brown, me and Mega, whoever Mega is. There's a difference, and also be advised, there's also a difference between... Is that
Brandy's real name?
But there's a difference between being brown and being black, and Big Swole's black. There's a huge difference between being brown and being black.
It's like saying, okay, well, do you know where Big Swole's from?
The United States?
I know, but like her family, her
I do
ethnicity.
not. I remember she was on an episode of Up Up Down Down way back when, where she talks about a lot of her shit. But I don't know.
Like, is she like Caribbean, South American, African, like straight African? Like,
I think
any
it's a mix
idea?
between Caribbean and African.
Okay, so yeah,
black
that's
to me, yeah.
Black. Whereas Tony Khan is what,
yes.
Indian?
Indian, or yeah.
Brown. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, no, there's definitely a difference.
So he says the top two AEW execs are Brown. And then he goes, Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. He then goes and says the TBS title tournament has been very diverse. And then he
there's a former man in it. It's not wrong.
He then
says,
diverse. I let Swole's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough.
Yeah, dude, just don't say that. The statement was fine until
then
they
he goes hashtag AEW Rampage Street Fight tonight. That's the tweet.
I mean, okay, Tony, here's what you say. Here's what you say, Tony. For fuck's sake. I hear Swole's opinions, and I hear her perspective. Thank you for showing up for me. Swole, I'll take it. We'll take that under advisement as a company and make the best plan moving forward, and hope we work together in the future. However, I would like to point out that here is everything we have done. I like to consider AEW a very diverse community, and here's how. What he said isn't wrong. It's his fucking tone and how he said it.
Because it comes from like a rich, spoiled, entitled kid who doesn't like to be talked back to.
I mean, which he is. That's exactly how I'd expect a billionaire's son to fucking react. But no, there's a proper way to handle it. But there's nothing wrong with what he said. It's just how he said it. I get what he's saying.
Yeah, it's bad.
Bubby, this. They say a backhand is discipline. That's.
And then the Twitter folks came in and was not Twitter folks came in, but it was the some people are just like, oh, there's some AEW talent that liked it. It's not a good look, and I was like, it depends.
I mean, some people like the loose style.
Yeah.
Like I like structure. Personally, I like being structured, but I think WWE is too structured. I think they're too rigid. Well, AEW is I think Tony Khan just lets the boys book their matches with his approval. Which
could be considered too loose, because you know who else let the boys book their matches? WCW. Yeah,
WCW. I mean, but you gotta have, like, I'm fine with people telling him ideas and him listening, and like a content team or whatever, like pitching ideas. But him making the final decision and being convinced one way or the other. Like, if I was Tony Khan, if I ran AEW,
you'd get a content
I would just
team
be okay
and be like, "Is this good content?"
Yeah, like I'd be like, all right, let's sit down in a boardroom and map this out. What everyone who's involved, the wrestlers, I mean, figure it out. But end of the day, I have final say. But you have everything within your power to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do: prove me wrong. And I'll keep an open mind. And if I'm proven wrong, I change it. I think that's the right way to run.
It's the right way to run almost any wrestling company. I know Vince is always the end all be all, and a lot of times wrestlers have to convince Vince before anything else.
But I don't think Vince listens, and I think when Vince says something, people are too sycophantic to push back.
Which I think I've heard.
Especially the talent, because if you push back, Vince will bend.
Yeah, and it'll give you a shot. And like if you listen to a lot of wrestlers' stories, that's how they got their shot. Xavier Woods pushed back, and Vince said, "Okay,"
But then again, the creative team and the agents, probably not. You think John Laurinaitis pushes back on Vince? You think Bruce Pritchard pushes back on Vince? Maybe, but there's this thing too. Once Vince says this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, and it's just like now old Bruce definitely pushed back against Vince, according to him. But modern day Bruce, I think he's there for a paycheck, man, which is fine. But I don't think people need to push back on Vince. It's sometimes when Vince just puts his foot down, that's like, all right, that's it. Whereas AEW, maybe the talent pushes back too much, and Tony doesn't put his foot down enough. That's what I see. I'm not in either company. I'm just completely bullshitting, but that's what I think. That's what I see.
That could be what Swole means by like a loose struggle. Like someone needs to put their foot down and be like, no, this isn't good. I
mean, then again, their content on TV is, other than like, the fake exploding ring, which really has something to do with creative, has been amazing.
Fake exploding ring. Oh my god.
Yeah, or like the bloody match where like the camera angles were off and Jericho was like seen going through a crash pad. Like, that's not creative's fault. Creative has been excellent on AEW.
Yeah, but I think what Swole's saying, like, also there's not enough people in the room. Like, I think Tony has a very non-diverse creative room.
Well, see, that's when it comes to my other point I disagree with her with. Like, I understand why she cares about diversity. That's fine. I respect her opinion. Again, she's not wrong. I just don't think the lack of diversity is an issue.
I think it is.
I don't care about diversity. Are you good? Should you be there? Great. I'm excited and hope Keith Lee is a top talent in that.
Is Keith Lee going to AEW?
But I don't know. But I don't want Keith Lee to be presented or thought of as a main eventer for diversity's sake. I don't want him to be a statistic, quote unquote. I don't want him to be. I don't want to have any illusion that Keith Lee is there because he has to be there because of diversity. I want Keith Lee to be there because he's fucking good enough.
Yeah, but also here's the other thing. It's another point that they made. They said we're going to have a diverse roster of talent from all over that you haven't seen, and you kind of just see more of the same, or as some people would put in that, ever see just WWE people that WWE threw away or let go. And I think that's the issue.
And to Tony's point, they are diverse. He listed all the diverse names on their roster.
He said they were on TV this month. What TV? Were they on Dark? Were they on Elevation? Were they on Rampage? Were they on Dynamite? He just says they were on TV.
Honestly, if you go back to old episodes of Dark, they probably get more rating. They probably get more views than the cable ratings.
That's where you see all the black people. It's AEW Dark. It's called Dark. That's why it's called Dark.
That's why it's called Dark. Maybe. Might as well call it AEW Brown / Dark. Like, whatever. But, they're employed. They're working. They're young. Like, Sammy Guevara is Spanish, right? Like, he's diversity. Whatever. They call him a Spanish god. So, I would ask Swole if I was talking to Swole. Okay, Swole, in my opinion, this is a diverse roster. In Tony's opinion, this is a diverse roster. What does diversity mean to you? What does diversity in AEW look like? Because from my eyes, it looks pretty diverse. From my eyes,
it does not. It just AEW could stand for all elite white people for all I care. That's what you see.
All right,
that's what you see at the top.
What would diversity look for you?
Diversity.
When would you be happy and say this is diverse enough?
You say this is diverse enough when you actually let the talent that you already had show up. Like who the private party? Oh, it's a private party. I was gonna say who's the street profit reads? It's private party. It's private party, right? Private party.
Yeah, private party.
And the Acclaim when you use them more in tag teams and give them maybe tag team title shots. Powerhouse Hobbs, I think, hasn't been on. When the last time I saw Powerhouse Hobbs was in person, and that was when they did the Dynamite Battle Royal.
He's on TV, and he's someone who needs to be utilized.
Wrestling?
Again, super young.
Is he in a storyline? Nothing.
No, he's not wrestling. He's part of Team Taz.
Team Taz doesn't do shit besides
he's relevant
at this point.
He's a baby, but in a few years he will be. I have no doubt in my mind.
But he's got to do something now. He can't just be walking around doing nothing. I mean, you're pushing Hook more than Hobbs.
Hey man, there's only so much TV
time.
There's so much
would you give him that point again? There is only so much TV time, but you keep on adding people who are taking the people's spots that have already kind of been there. And yes, you can say that. Well, that's kind of part of the game of wrestling and sports and stuff. But like, it becomes a bit annoying for a talent that signed on a little bit earlier from the beginning to see their spot get taken and not even actually get a shot to be on TV in the first place.
That's the nature of the business. It's dog eat dog. That's competition, Ricky.
Competition with who?
Now let me ask you. With the talent, what would you tell Adam Cole? Hey, Adam, I'm sorry, like we can't put you in a spot because we got to give it to Powerhouse Hobbs because of diversity.
No, never said because of that. She never said because of. She never said because of diversity.
But saying these people should be in this spot and lack of diversity, like. Do you think Powerhouse Hobbs is better than Adam Cole? Does Powerhouse Hobbs deserve more TV time than Adam Cole? Because if you're going to give him TV time, he has to be taken away from someone else. And is he good enough to replace those people for a reason other than diversity?
Yeah, because you give somebody a shot. And is Grayson Waller better than AJ Styles? But guess what? No, AJ Styles is working with Grayson Waller. You're giving Grayson Waller a chance to do something. Do they have to do something all the time? No, but you're giving Grayson Waller a shot.
Powerhouse Hobbs wrestled CM Punk, his second match.
And that was what, 4 months ago? But what has he done then?
But it's memorable.
I can tell you stuff he did. What's the last thing he did?
Exactly. I remember it. So they're being used, and I guess my old.
What is it being used on Dark? No one watches Dark. It's not things that don't move a needle.
Dude, I'm sure a lot of people on. Like, let's look at Dark. Let's look at Dark. Right? Okay, take a guess. How long ago? Give me. Let's say. Let's say December 1st. The first. The first Dark in December, because this is my point. It has longer lasting. Okay, let's say the first Dark from December
First Dark
1st. Take
in
a guess.
December 1st. 1.5. Yeah.
1.5 million. Let me find it. AEW Dark 2021. It's a playlist. AEW. It's 323.
Does it have a date for it?
They don't have all the videos in here. What the fuck, guys? AEW. AEW needs some work on your YouTube channel. 12. 1.
Fred
Dark.
says there's a title change on Dynamite.
Here it is. Okay. All right. AEW Dark number 64. 12/1. No, that's 12/1/20.
Oh, 12/1/20? Oh, no. Go.
That's last year, and I want 21.
Fred, what's the title change? Is it a title change or a title crowning?
AEW. Dark episodes. Here we go.
What do we got?
Let's go all the way down to the bottom.
We had a title change. Oh, is it the tag team titles? Oh, did the dinosaur and Marco win? I'm guessing it's the tag titles that Lucha Bros finally dropped.
Come on, guys. Why can't I find AEW
Yep,
Dark
Jurassic
like at
Express new
all?
tag champs. Shouldn't you go to like recent videos? Shouldn't recent work?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm looking for it. It's New Year's Smash.
Yeah, almost. Oh, well, no, yeah, almost there. I'm still gonna say 1.5.
Three weeks ago. Yeah, dude. AEW. Okay, 7 matches featuring. That's okay. What is this? They just like don't call it AEW. Okay, AEW Elevation.
Wasn't it Dark
40.
Elevation or is
December
it just Elevation?
It's Dark. I guess now it's Elevation. The episode. Okay, this is Elevation, right? So
Where
this
is
their lower
Elevation
tier,
on Tuesday
right? The
or is it
lowest
on
tier.
Monday?
I have no idea. This was December 6th, 2021. 300,000 views on Elevation. Do you think Elevation would get 300,000 views on TV? Like AEW, the TV gets like 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 a week. This is getting like almost half of their primetime TV on YouTube. Granted, it's over a 6-month time. Oh, here's Dark. Here's Dark from November 30th, 488. Okay, so it's getting over like a month period. It's getting half of your primetime TV members like viewership. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's one step down from NXT viewership. So being premiered on Dark isn't as bad as you think. Honestly, dude, it gets a younger crowd. It gets younger people. It gets when all these marks that we stop like or older people. Like once these people are older and they have their kids, they're gonna be watching. These are the people are gonna like the people you see on Dark. Because
but who watches
Dark?
YouTube? More people watch a WWE clip of Raw than they would of Dark or Elevation combined.
Oh yeah, 100%. W is a bigger product. They have a better YouTube channel. They're way better at selling their product. AEW's social media isn't that great. Like if you want to improve AEW's company, you ignore diversity. You just ignore
they have been
it.
ignoring diversity.
Yeah, but you focus on stuff like YouTube, your social media to make your company better. So when people you improve, you want to improve diversity, improve Dark. Make it easier to find on your YouTube channel.
Or make it something to see. Bring somebody down there to make it like must see. Put a title change on Dark. That's what you do a title change on like a live event. That's how you boost sales.
I think it's fine being this just televised It's OVW from like 2004. It's old OVW. That's what it is. It's just on YouTube instead of on a network. I think it's brilliant what they're doing.
Here's the thing: if you keep repeating history, if you fail to learn about history, you're gonna be doomed to repeat it. And what I see is AEW still at this point doing the same things over and over again. And if they don't make a change sometime soon, it's not gonna work out in their favor. Could I be wrong? Yes, but for right now, I'm just seeing a formula that works in the short term and not the long term.
I was gonna say have diversity in your top because diversity. It's because the people who are good, the best people, are just happen to be diverse. Focus on making good content, and that in making good content will make everyone on your
But
roster
people creating
better.
content also have to be diverse as well.
From a creative perspective, sure.
You have to have
sure.
To get diverse content on TV. You need diverse content creators, and if you don't have diverse content creators, you're not going to get the diverse content on TV, which will bring in a diverse crowd. Because right now they are very towards one specific demographic and race, and I think that's what Swole is saying is that we're not getting to where you want to be because you don't have the people on the other side creating the content. That's when she made the comment about like, telling creative people this isn't how a black person would speak and things like that. It's the same thing with if you take Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's take that TV Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was a pretty white there was a pretty non-diverse writing crew for that because it was NBC back in the 90s, you know. And they got away with some of the stuff that they did is because the creative or the writing team, from what I got from the documentary, kind of knew, like, hey, I'm not black, but you are, you Will Smith. What am I supposed to write? Or like, they would kick this back and be like, no, a black person wouldn't say that. And I think from Will's perspective is that she's not seeing that, or there's not that creative, what's it called? She's not seeing that as part of the creative process.
Yeah, there's not enough ideas. There's not enough ideas. And honestly, I think that is a perfect criticism. I honestly agree. I think that's a great idea. When it comes to creative, you want different people in there because different cultures have different ideas.
And that's what made the New Day hit so well.
Just don't be careful. Don't be careful that you appropriate that culture. God forbid you actually try and do something diverse. You get in fucking trouble.
But I think that's what made the New Day such a hit for so long. Is that there would be like, no, black people wouldn't say this. This is what we would actually do, and they had somebody on the creative team vouching for them.
That's why Hit Row works. That's why Hit Row works.
Hit Row was going to work so well too.
Yeah, I thought they were very authentic. It's like I know people like this. These people exist. Like I believe this person is saying this because I know. It was very real. That was probably 100% there. I didn't know, and a diversity of ideas, 1,000%.
That's what I think. They need a diversity of ideas, and she's not getting that, and they're also not really getting the opportunity. And she did.
I think NXT should pick her up immediately. Like
Cedric's over there,
signed already.
Yeah.
Like I think her and Bianca Belair.
She could be the female heavy for her business. They ever actually do something with them.
Yeah, they're the same. They're literally the same character. Swole and Bianca Belair. Swole is just tougher.
They'd be a great tag team.
Yeah, here the story is Bianca. You were just so tough. Now you're all Hollywood. Now you're soft. I'm Swole. I'm tough. It's in my name, bitch. Grr, and just flexes. Like she would be.
What's up, TW Tags? Thanks for joining in. Hopefully you didn't get kicked off or anything like that. Just had a very vivid conversation about diversity in AEW. We could have made that a whole show, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have. I mean, honestly, dude, you should cut this. Even though it's post-show.
We'll call it post-show rampage.
Post-show rampage. Yeah, but it was good. Big Swole, just to put a bow on it. Yeah, she should have left. She made the right decision leaving. Because as JR always says, there's two reasons why people leave: cash or creative.
Yeah,
it's just creative. She thinks she's better. Good, bet on yourself. You fought for yourself. Wasn't going it. Good.
I think she's better too. I mean, if you see that women's roster, they could have used her. I'm going to be interested to see what they do with Mercedes now that she's on.
Yeah, she's
That's
there
a fantastic
too. Great pickup
if
for them.
They use her correctly, and I think Mercedes wasn't used as good as she could have been in NXT. And there's a lot of problems. I mean, she put on some great matches with Rhea Ripley. She had a lot of good stuff there. It just the transition wasn't great. Uh-huh.
I'm just saying though, I'd rather an hour TV match for like a title like Bryan and fucking what's his name Hangman did than adding in a 15-minute Mercedes Martinez
you gotta get on
match.
TV. You can't be wasting all this stuff. Like you gotta find a way to feature people and to get them TV time. And Dark and Elevation, I don't think are always gonna do it.
this targets a different audience. It's a smaller audience for sure, but I wouldn't say
I'm not going to say
nothing.
it's nothing.
I'd
No.
say it's innovative. I mean, listen, AEW wants these brands to succeed.
Sure.
Like, they're trying to make these things good and watchable, because why would they make something just to not give a fuck about it and just to make sure it's bad?
Here's
That's
my
like
issue
main
with,
events.
here's my issue with like main event. Here's my issue with Dark and Elevation.
Where like they have to do it for contractual reasons. Like, they have an incentive to make it good.
The thing with Dark and Elevation, I think, is that it's a lot of unsigned talent, so essentially you're seeing a lot of tryout matches, which is fine, but with a roster size as swelling as it is, sometimes I feel like you don't have room to do tryout matches on TV. Like a tryout dark match or something, maybe, or maybe somewhere, with the actual content creators, be like, can we use this person?
Well, you know what it is, Ricky? They don't have a performance center. Like,
That's
where
true,
would they do
not
it?
have a PC.
Where
The
like
WCW
where can
powerhouse.
they do it?
Power plant.
The power plant. I mean, again, that's a very fair criticism. That's a very good point. But where would they do it?
Daly's? Do it at Daly's place during a Jaguars
Daly's
game.
place? I guess, sure.
Have it at halftime
like,
of a Jacksonville Jaguars game.
I mean, but if you're gonna do it, fuck, dude, you might as well record it and put it out there. They lose
Do it at
nothing
Urban
by
Meyer's
putting it
house.
out there. Yeah, sure. Do it in Cody's house. Call it Cody's camp. I don't know. Fucking whatever, dude.
Have it as part of Cody's reality TV show.
Dude, do it to Hardy Compound. That'd be cool.
That'd be really fun.
Dude, they honestly, they should make Matt Hardy. Here's an extra $1 million in your contract. Let's use your compound as a makeshift PC.
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't opened up a school in the Hardy compound.
Dead ass. I mean, I know his
But,
family
come
lives
on.
there and everything, but like, I know it's your backyard, but you own like
Yeah.
acres, bro. Like,
Yeah, we'll make it a Watch the Throne. What do you want me to make a Watch the Throne episode, Frets? Let me know. You want my rant on Tony Khan? You heard my rant, Fred. So I don't know if I could probably go into a longer thing about it, but I think Will and I kind of just hashed it out. Yeah.
I get it, dude. Like, I also get why you want diversity. I'm just like, I don't think it's really the main thing you should be focusing on. Just focus on who's good and getting them good.
Well, yeah, no. Well, I'm all for who's good and getting them good, but also you also need to give people a chance to show that they're good as well.
Well, Dark and Elevation, they're a chance.
It's not a chance. It's not going to the demo that you'd be like, oh, this guy's good. Like Hook showed up on Rampage, like, oh, Hook might be good. Have you seen Hook on Elevation?
Yeah, dude, Hook. Hook is all right. I'm on the Hook train too, dude. Not gonna lie. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. I mean, he's Italian. That used to be diverse.
That's the thing is that.
That used to mean diversity.
That's the thing. It's not that Hook is Italian. I always forget Hook is Italian. I always forget that Taz is actually like Italian because he doesn't.
Yeah, Taz is. People don't know that Taz isn't black. Like, he's Sicilian. He's a different kind of minority.
It's about there are other people than the people that we think that have the it factor and that could be champions and stuff, but are they getting equal opportunity? And that is the big question.
Like, okay, what if this happened?
Okay.
All right, riddle me this. How do you think the public and people and Tony Khan would respond if Brian Cage did the exact same thing, word for word, diversity and all? That's swole.
What ethnicity is Brian Cage?
How do you?
I mean,
He's white. Brian Cage, white. He's white as me, just straight up honky, like Midwest honky. And what if he was just like, yeah, I'm quitting, and it's just like, okay, you can take out the people like me thing, all right? Because Big Swole didn't have that in. That's the only thing you take out. And word for word, I'm leaving because it's, I'm not being used properly. I don't like there's lack of diversity in the creative team. There's no diverse. What if he left the exact? What would the reaction be from Tony Khan, you, and everyone else?
I'd be like, really? I was like, wow, I guess. I was like, I guess Brian Cage knew more than we thought. Like.
From an insider's perspective, guys, I'm Brian Cage. I'm Muscle Marinara over here. And there's just not enough diversity for people out there in AEW. And that's why I'm leaving. And also,
Tony Khan would probably send out an all-caps tweet saying, fuck Brian Cage, he takes steroids. Like, that would be Tony Khan. See you at Rampage tonight.
And the IWC would be like, I don't know if I should call him a white knight. I don't know if I don't know if it's politically correct for me to agree or disagree. IWC wouldn't know how to react because they would need to ask permission from somebody. They just don't know who it is first. They're like, how should I? They have to ask what the politically correct way to act is. That's how the IWC would act.
If Brian Cage spoke out on like lack of diversity, even though I haven't seen Brian Cage wrestle in a while either, I think Brian Cage needs to make the jump.
I mean, look, if you're gonna say someone who's being underutilized, who's still in that company, fucking Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. I mean, Will Hobbs has been underutilized. I said Big Swole's on. I mean, we talked about how do you not use Big Swole? I know she had the Crohn's disease issue for a while.
Yeah. That's, I mean, again, that's not her fault.
No, but to be like, it's the people that are healthy scratches that you're like, they could be on TV more.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Thunder Rosa is underutilized, and she's a mega star there.
Is she signed officially yet?
I think she did officially sign.
I think
there's more diverse talent.
Thunder Rosa should be on.
One of the best matches of AEW last year. She was in the main
her
event.
And Britt Baker.
It was like a. Yeah, it was unsanctioned. It doesn't count. but you know, she's.
Yeah, I think we need to see more of her.
Riho's being their Asian talent.
I don't know how Riho got pushed over Hikaru Shida.
Nyla Rose is being used.
She's being used a lot more. There was a period of time where she wasn't being used as often, but I think it's because they added that TBS title. Now you have something for the women to actually show up on.
I mean, how can you get more diverse than Nyla Rose? Come on now. Is she also black?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure on Nyla Rose's ethnicity.
She might be Taz.
She could be Taz.
She might be really Italian.
Yeah.
She could be really Italian.
She could be a Taz. I would have loved to have seen Sonny Kiss more because I think Sonny Kiss was a big draw for them.
Yeah, again, but who would you take off of TV to put Sonny Kiss on TV?
I think there's room for Sonny Kiss now, but who would I take off? Oh.
Okay, yeah, who would you take off? Who would you switch him out with?
Let's see. If I'm thinking the people that they've dragged in now, Sonny Kiss is a lower mid at this point. So you can transition him for anybody. I'd definitely put Sonny Kiss over Hook right now.
I knew you were going to say Hook. I mean, okay, okay. I can buy that, but honestly, I think, but even though Hook is so over right now, you gave Hook a chance, and look what happened. You gave Hook one chance on Rampage, which is Friday night at 10 o'clock.
He was the biggest pop of the night on top of everything that happened.
Right.
Next to MJF, he was the biggest pop of the night,
right.
Which is so weird. So weird.
So, but my point is, on Rampage, that middle match, Hook's first match, which is like the death spot of like AEW's television. Hook got a match, and Will Hobbs also got a match, and yet everyone loves Hook.
Because who?
So Will Hobbs has had chances.
Has it?
And has he moved the meter?
Hook has moved the meter. Hook has the darling of the IWC.
And could you say Sonny Kiss would move a meter? You think Sonny Kiss could move a meter? I mean, they've had chances on that COVID Dynamite. They were on TV.
But, I mean, Sonny Kiss has been signed since the beginning. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I'm saying like Sonny Kiss had chances.
I mean, Joey Janela had chances too. Joey Janela pretty much died, but that's Joey Janela.
Yeah, but again, they were on TV a lot last year.
Janela or Sonny?
Both,
I don't remember seeing Janela after like the first year. I feel like he died.
But did they move meters? Did they get people talking? They had chances. No one cared.
Are you sure about?
Or not enough. Or not enough people cared. I'll say not enough people cared because people cared. People obviously do care because they're calling them to get chances, but not enough people care. Not more people care about Hook.
I think more people care
about CM Punk.
CM Punk is was a pipe dream. I mean,
more people care about Dan Lambert and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky. I don't even care about Scorpio Sky. I wish Scorpio Sky got more chance. I mean, Scorpio Sky was on a big run the first year, and then I don't know why we stopped using him. I thought
he's like he was just feuding with Darby and Sting.
He just started with Darby and Sting. The in-between stuff, but like Scorpio Sky should be a upper mid-card performer consistently on TV.
Yes.
Consistently on TV.
Yeah, he's on TV consistently.
Is he?
Yes, he is. Dan Lambert. He's the mouthpiece.
Yeah, so he's not actually doing anything. He's a mouthpiece.
I mean, he cuts promos. He wrestles every day. He wrestled Sammy Guevara a few weeks ago for the TNT title. Like they've been in that picture. They're consistently on TV and being utilized.
I would, when we talk about AEW, never bring up Scorpio Sky.
The AEW still has the buddy system. Like everyone's on TV.
Well, clearly not everybody's on TV because we just talked about how people aren't on TV for like the last 20 minutes.
They use a lot of people on TV. They focus on certain guys who are on TV every week and some people on TV. Like Matt Hardy's on TV every other week or every 3 weeks. Matt Hardy doesn't need to be on TV. Yeah, you could take time away from Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy you know what? Matt Hardy's gotten time taken away from Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. So like, these people who had these chances, they didn't move the needle enough to warrant taking TV time away from people who are currently on TV. Like people who are on TV right now deserve to be on TV. Like
Bobby
Will
Fish?
Hobbs. Like, yeah, I would love to see him on TV, but I can't think of anywhere I'd pull TV
Bobby
away
Fish?
from. Maybe no, because Bobby Fish is in a main event for title feud with the Elite. Upper mid card, like they're not wrestling, but they're being used. Adam, like they're wrestling on Rampage. Like they're taking time that needs to be taken. I wouldn't take time away from Bobby Fish. Absolutely not.
I would take time away from Bobby Fish.
He's in a big storyline with the Bucks.
Oh, because he's in a big storyline with the owners. That's why he's getting time.
No, because they're needle movers. They get the internet talking. They're
internet
stars.
talking and needle movers completely different.
They're
Yes,
not really.
IWC, we've always known as the vocal minority.
Vocal minority is sure, but they're a big. I mean, but here's the thing: the vocal minority is like 80% of AEW's audience. It is an issue, sure, but using those people who are good, who are over, are gonna bring in casual people because people fucking love them.
Because the IWC loves them doesn't mean that a casual is going to like them. An IWC person might drag a casual in.
When a casual goes on Twitter or social media to find AEW, if they can find AEW, they don't do a great job.
Well.
Who are they gonna see? The people the IWC is talking about.
Which would be
so the casual people also like.
I would say the casual people like Roman and your Edges and your AJ Styles. Those are the casuals. Now, if you brought a casual person, like we say casual as a non-wrestling fan, if we found a casual person on the street, and and we asked them, what do you know about pro wrestling or wrestling in general? I don't know what words you'd use because you're like, oh, what do you know about sports entertainment, or would you say like, what do you know about wrestling? That's
I say, what do you think about WWE?
No, I would say, who do you know from wrestling? Do you watch wrestling now? Who do you know from wrestling? Like, if we said wrestling, what's the first names that come to mind?
No, I would say like I wouldn't even say wrestling. I'd say WWE.
Really, you'd go to WWE route?
Yeah. So like someone who doesn't know anything about wrestling on WWE, I would just because they'll go, what, you mean like UFC or WWE? That's what they would ask. Okay,
all right. So I would say like WWE.
Like even depending who I ask, I would say, what do you think of wrestling like WWE, or what do you think of like WWE? Who do you know? Like who are WWE wrestlers? Like whatever. I would use the word WWE, and they'd say, oh, John Cena. Like they wouldn't even say The Rock. They would say John Cena, and like maybe Stone Cold or like the Indie Taker.
Did you say
they get someone's name wrong. Yeah, they would get his name wrong. They get someone's name like HHH or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the guy with 3 H's. The guy with 3 H's.
Yeah, like the 3H dude. Like that's who they would say. Whereas, and you would go, or you'd just go, check out AEW. They would Google it. Who they see? You think a casual fan gives a fuck about Powerhouse Hobbs or Big Swole?
About besides somebody Punk or Omega? No. That's what I'm saying.
Or even, what? They give a fuck about Brian Pillman Jr.?
I don't give a fuck about Brian Pillman Jr.
You know what? You want to take TV time away? You want to give Powerhouse Hobbs more TV time? Take away Brian Pillman Jr. There's a spot for you. I can get behind.
Gun Club's not to be on TV.
I would take away the Gun Club too. But you know what? The Gun Club isn't on TV consistently at all.
I feel like the Gun Club's on TV a lot.
No, they're not on TV. Maybe they're on Dark and Elevation. Maybe the occasional Rampage. Darby and Big Billy Gunn had a match on Rampage. But they had a.
God, I'm taking away from Billy Gunn too.
My
Lord, Billy Gunn, stop wrestling.
But they're not on TV consistently. So you're gonna move Powerhouse Hobbs from being on TV consistently, maybe not wrestling, but being on TV or on commentary consistently,
Is Powerhouse
to being
Hobbs
on TV
on
every now
commentary?
and then being in a match. He's been on there on Team Taz, like on commentary. He's being used differently. He's not wrestling, but he's being used, albeit differently. So you'd rather him not be on TV consistently, but be on TV sporadically,
I
but
need
wrestling.
him wrestling. I mean, you can be a presence. You can stand there all you want. I need him. The only person who worked being a presence was Sting.
Okay, okay, that's what you want. I think that's a fair
No,
criticism as well. You want him wrestling.
It's a matter
You
of
gotta
like,
realize-
okay, you can be a presence, you can do all this stuff. You can be like Veer Mahan. Veer Mahan's a presence on Raw, and he hasn't even showed up. He's a promo package. But what happens?
Hey man,
what
at
happens
least I know. At least I know what Powerhouse Hobbs looks like. I couldn't even tell you what Veer looks like.
when Veer gets in that ring? That's the end all be all.
Problem, yeah.
Look at Glacier.
Well,
Look at
Powerhouse
Glacier.
Hobbs
Glacier
is
was a
getting-
president of WCW for ages. What happened? What happened when Glacier
really,
got in
dude.
that ring?
Glacier
What
was
happened
a-
when Glacier got in that ring?
All right, Glacier, dude, Glacier. Okay, that's a great example. Glacier was just like a Sunny Kiss. Glacier was on TV pretty consistently early on.
gave him
He
snow.
sucked. He wasn't a needle mover, and they slowly took him off TV. Showed up every now and then. He just disappeared. That's exactly what happened with Sunny Kiss. So that's what happens in wrestling, dude. Not everyone can be a star. Some people are going to fizzle out, like a Joey
I'm not
Janela.
saying everybody should be a star, because everybody shouldn't be a star. Even though the Be a Star campaign from WWE says that you should, not everybody is prone to be a star. I'm talking about giving people these chances and these opportunities to figure out if they are a star or not, and then kind of adjusting and moving accordingly. But it's hard to do that when you keep on filtering in people. And yes, can you blame AEW? Probably not, because it's a power move. It's like, put it this way, it's like when the Broncos won the playoff game with Tim Tebow. Remember that wild shit? Okay, one playoff game with Tebow, they ended up losing to the Patriots. Whatever. That off season, guess who became available? Peyton fucking Manning.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. You know?
Yeah, can't blame him.
Can't blame him.
Yeah, can't
Did it
blame
fuck up Tebow's career because he went to the Jets? Yes, that's also a different story for a different time. But you'd almost be, and I would agree, you'd almost be crazy not to take a Peyton Manning like person. And that, I mean, that argument is kind of goes to your point, doesn't go to my point, because Tebow actually did get a chance and he was pretty damn good, but they kind of just took him over. You know, but it's hard to argue against the Peyton Manning. But then, like, what do you do? But in football, it's different because you only have X amount of spots that you can fill. In wrestling, you don't have a roster limit, which is scary to think about from time to time.
No, but you do though, because you have a TV time limit.
Unless you're filtering them on Dynamite and not
Like
on Elevation.
personally, I want Aleister Black to have more TV time than Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, that's actually let me go back to like actually opportunities. Let me peel back for a second. So you don't consider TV time an opportunity?
What do you mean?
Because he's getting like Powerhouse. I'm using Powerhouse Hobbs as an example again. Like he's getting TV or
standing there behind commentary while Taz
Scorpio
talks his ass off is not doing anything.
You don't consider TV time an opportunity? Why not? TV time is definitely an opportunity.
If you're standing there doing nothing, it's not an opportunity. The only people who were able to do that were Sting and Brock. But Brock had a greater mouthpiece, and that mouthpiece was Paul Heyman.
Sure, but it's still being used. It's still being utilized. It's still an opportunity. If you're on TV, you're being utilized.
Elias walking through the crowd for years was.
That wasn't even televised.
No, it was televised a couple of times where he walked past them.
For the first few weeks, it wasn't televised. But yeah, that was being utilized 100%.
Still got to get done in the ring.
Of course you do, but that's why they're on Dark and Elevation. And once they see something they like that gets it done in the ring, well, guess what? He's already a presence on TV. It'll make more sense when he has TV time. Maybe, that Punk match was an opportunity. Maybe Powerhouse Hobbs didn't step up.
Punk's second match back.
No, I'm not saying beat him. He doesn't have to beat him. You can get over in a loss.
Against Punk, the biggest prodigal son of the Marks ever. You think they were going to give Powerhouse Hobbs a chance at all against Punk?
Dude, you saying a match with Punk isn't an opportunity?
Not when he first got back, no.
How is that not an opportunity?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it did. But that's an opportunity. How is that not an opportunity? It's a match with CM Punk, one of the biggest names
It's
in the
not
business.
an opportunity.
We trust you, Powerhouse Hobbs, to have CM Punk's second match back. And Hobbs, you're a little green, but we're gonna trust you with CM Punk. Don't hurt him. That's
An opportunity to get over with the fans who are hot for Punk and doesn't give a shit about Hobbs. No, it's not an opportunity for him. It is not an
100%
opportunity. It's not an opportunity.
Go out there, have a great match.
The only opportunity,
you know what, Ricky?
the only opportunity would have given him if Hobbs would have beat the fuck out of Punk. Then you have a star, and then you have somebody.
But that's bad for business.
That could be great for business.
That's bad business. That's you just ruined Punk. No, okay, now we're getting into an over argument. That's a completely different argument. But that's 100% an opportunity, and maybe he blew that opportunity because the match wasn't that great. But he had an opportunity, and you know what? Maybe the office didn't like what they saw.
Somebody who hasn't wrestled in 7 years too. You're having a green guy with somebody who's wrestled in 7 years.
But
that screams bad match. That doesn't help anybody.
Swole had the opportunity with Britt Baker in that feud. Wasn't that great? She had an opportunity, and for the office, it wasn't good.
And then she had Crohn's disease, and then they just never used her again.
Maybe it's not.
I mean, but you've already said that Swole is a good wrestler, and so. Mm-hmm.
He is a great wrestler, but baby AEW is just like, you know what? Don't like what I see. I think she's a good wrestler, but I don't work for AEW. You can't say they didn't have opportunities. Those are two opportunities, right? Big opportunities.
Hobbs versus CM Punk in the second match back is not a big opportunity. It is not a big
opportunity.
It's not a humongous opportunity.
He's had a match with Darby Allin. That's an opportunity. Every match is an opportunity. He's had opportunities. He's been used. You can say he hasn't been used effectively, sure, but you can't say he hasn't had opportunities.
Opportunities and using effectively are two different arguments. I'm saying he's not being used effectively.
Yeah, but maybe they're not. Maybe he hasn't capitalized. He hasn't capitalized on those opportunities. He hasn't been that good.
So in order to get a good opportunity, in order to be used effectively, you have to capitalize on opportunities.
Of course, yeah. Look at Edge. I saw Edge come by on a screenshot. He made the best of his opportunity.
Edge also has creative control. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
No, I'm saying when he had when he first won Money in the Bank, right? That was an opportunity, and he cashed in on it.
Wasn't he not in control of when he was going to cash in?
No, but if that fell flat on his face, would that not have been an opportunity? Like plenty of Money in the Bank when it fell flat on their face. Nikki Ash.
No, that worked.
She was given an opportunity, and people forget she was champion by now.
But it worked. At the time, it worked.
But that was an opportunity.
And she actually created that character. She created a Nikki Ash character.
Yeah, and you know what? They liked it, and I guess some fans liked it. A lot of people shit on it. But you know what? It moved the needle enough to be on TV consistently. She made the most of her opportunity. Powerhouse Hobbs, Big Swole, other people in the mid-card, Brian Pillman Jr., even the fucking Gun Club, the Private Party. They've had these opportunities. Maybe they just haven't made the best of them. Bringing in the fact we got to compete with Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Hangman Page, all these people in a stacked roster. You can't say they're not getting opportunities.
You keep filtering in people from another company or filtering in free agents. Yeah, your opportunities are going to be minimalized. That's the issue that Swole was saying.
You better be damn sure to make an impact when you do. And if you don't, that's just competition. That's just the nature of the business. Not everyone's going to be a winner.
That's the catch-22 about it. How do you get an opportunity if you keep on filtering people to take other people's spots when you already have a stacked roster? That's her argument right there. And I agree with that. I mean, you can say nature of the business, tough shit, yada, 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 but...
And you know what? Elevation and Dark are also
opportunities for nobody. Except if you're doing a tryout match, maybe.
Well, you know what? If you have that mentality, that's all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be.
That's the thing. Who's getting the opportunities? Who's vying for those people to get opportunities on the other side of the board is also what Swole is saying.
And that's 100% correct.
You know.
Yes.
And that's the issue right there. You can say tough shit, blah, 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 but if there's nobody on the other side backing up your point and saying, let's keep on going back to the well, doing this, that, and there, let's sign this person, do this, that, and there, and there's someone's raising hand, we also have, this litany of people here that we're not utilizing. We need to do something with them. It's kind of like, very like shit or get off the pot. Type thing.
Again, Is only so much
And
TV time.
so much internet time too. And so that's also the thing. And I think that's what Swole was saying with her loose structure. It's kind of blasé, and you need structure, especially when you're running TV on a consistent basis. And I noticed that when I went to AEW Dynamite, they are very loose. It's not as clean as compared to like a Raw or SmackDown.
Well, I think loose structure benefits people at the top.
There you go.
It does. That's definitely true. Loose structure benefits the top of the card 100%, whereas structure kind of evens it out a little bit. I think, and as someone who likes structure, that's just two different types of wrestling philosophy right there. And that's another fair criticism. Doesn't mean AEW is wrong. It doesn't mean Swole's right, and vice versa. It's just a difference of philosophy when it comes to wrestling.
Because, man, we've had a good talk. I have to eat because I haven't eaten anything at all.
I have nothing to eat.
Yeah, it sucks for you. At least I have
hungry,
pizza.
So
or whatever.
I'm gonna do.
But yeah, good talk. Let's hear what you guys think. We might have to post this at some point, and we might call it post King's Rampage or something like that.
Yeah, that was good, dude. That was a good episode of Talk with Tara Shock. Let me tell you, that was really good. That was a great conversation.
Yeah. We'll do it more often. It sucks that Kay's not here.
Oh God, I would have been terrified.
Kay's just crumbling in the corner. Dad and Dad are arguing again. But anyway, folks, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for joining us for our first show of the year. We'll be back next week with more shenanigans and Kay, and see what Kay thinks about our post-show shit. So yeah, until next time, see ya.
Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music.